your entire game. Can you win 2 games in a row in the finals without your power play clicking?
We're going to need our power play. You know, we only had a few chances at it last game. We scored 1 goal as the power play ended. But that's one of those things. The power play is a temperamental thing. It's a thing that's you've got to be loose and you've got to be relaxed, and it's only natural that neither power play functioned particularly well under the tense situation of Game 1 in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Bobby, thank you and good luck.
Thanks, Bob.
As you've undoubtedly noticed, the roof here at Civic Arena is very high. So also is the press box. As a matter of fact, the press box is 90 feet above the ice surface. Let's go up there now as they're chanting, "Let's go Pens," and hear from Jake McDonald.
Well, Mike, talking to the Pittsburgh Penguins this morning, and especially to Coach Bob Johnson, he feels his team played under a handicap in Game 1. He would have preferred to open the series away from Pittsburgh, feeling that the team got caught up in all the accolades that were being handed out. Too many pats in the back. They weren't ready to play. He promised that his best players would play better tonight, and he pointed toward goaltending as being a key. In fact, centered out Tom Barrasso, saying that Tommy has to come up big if we have a chance here tonight. It's strange how these fans have reacted too, Mike. They feel that if the Pittsburgh Penguins don't win tonight, just like you said at the outset, this series could be all over in 4. The pressure is on here. It's an almost must-win situation for Pittsburgh, Mike.
Everybody is standing now as the Penguins come on the ice. They've got the shout posters. They really don't need them right now. The opening face-off of our game is coming up in just a moment here from Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. Higher intensity, a faster game, probably a faster anthem too. We'll have the opening face-off after these words.
Each year, the experts at Car and Driver look at over 100 cars, so you don't have to. From the current new cars, they just picked their 10 best. At the most, you'll probably only buy one of them. That's too bad, because 2 of the 10 best are Mercury's. Mercury Sable and Mercury Tracer LTS. All this in the quality of a Mercury.
Yeah, we just scored. No, I didn't see Kevin get hit.
Kev, you okay? I wind up in the hospital, and Bob gets a winning goal.
I couldn't let Kevin miss the party.
I was having a pretty good time where I was.
Friends deserve the best.
Friendship. Just being there.
The crisp, clean taste of Canada's best beer, Labatt's Blue.
I have to be flat on my back to get Bob to buy me a blue.
Between friends, it's true blue. Labatt's Blue.
Over the past 5 years, more people switched to Glidden than any other paint. Now, if that isn't the ultimate test of quality, we don't know what is. Glidden, a better way to paint. Maybe the reason more people switch to Glidden than any other paint in the last 5 years is because it lasts year after year, no matter what the weather. Glidden, a better way to paint.
Hey, Jenny, come show your granddad how to set this VCR thing.
Okay. Input the TV channel to match the station you want to record. Press store. Then, if the event is in the first 7-day period...
At the Prudential, we believe some things can't be explained with a lot of fancy talk. So when it comes to life insurance...
Maybe we should cover that last part again.
We won't let you get it until you've got it. Your piece of the rock.
When you buy Valvoline motor oil, you get quality, and now, great taste. Buy 12 quarts of Valvoline motor oil and buy 12 cans of any Coca-Cola product. We'll pay for the Coca-Cola product. People who know use Valvoline.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Find it.
The first lineup change of this year's Stanley Cup final has been made. B.E. Taylor was replaced by Karen Wilson. And Andy Van Hellemond will referee tonight's game, joined by Kevin Collins and Gord Brossiker working the lines. Backup referee is Kerry Fraser. The off-ice officials are from Detroit.
John Casey has won 13 in the playoffs. He has lost only 4. His 13th win came here 2 nights ago. Back in goal for the North Stars. And Tom Barrasso was not as sharp as he wanted to be in Game 1. He, along with the rest of the Penguins, will definitely have to step it up a notch here in Game 2.
And tonight we set a Stanley Cup playoff record, the 88th playoff game. And Paul Coffey, who has not played in the last 10, is in the Pittsburgh lineup tonight. The Penguins in the home white uniforms, the North Stars in the road uniforms, the dark green. They try to move the puck through center, only to have it broken up, and Bourque has dumped it in. Casey moving it out through center ice. And the Pittsburgh Penguins send Stanton back to recover. He's given it to Samuelson, playing the left side of the defense. The pass through center ice is to Lemieux. Long pass. That's Stanton with a drive. Casey the big save. Quickly, Pittsburgh able to come through center ice, something they accomplished only rarely in Game 1. But now Gagne tests Barrasso with that long shot. Stanton checks as he went back to the net and centered out in front and shot wide. McDonald was right there and had a great chance. He's got the puck again. Shoots one. Barrasso the stop. Barrasso puts the lumber on Gagne. Puck moves around the end boards. Heavy collision there. Bourque and McDonald. Well, Bourque moves it up to center ice, and here's Mark Recchi. Recchi plays it around the defenseman, Wilkinson in this case. No score, 1 minute into the opening period, and here are the North Stars through center ice. On into the zone, the ice opens up, and a penalty call coming. Roberts took the man down heavily. Sliding into the boards is Jimmy Johnson, and he is shaken up.
Boy, it looks like he's holding his face, Jigs. He went into the net so hard with his skates and his feet. Perhaps he got hit with a stick on the way to the net, but sure hope he's all right. A big hole opened up. Jim Johnson with some of the best speed on the blue line the North Stars have, but he was hooked down. Oh, he may have even gotten Tom Barrasso's skate up high in the face. Looked like he was holding his face as he went to the boards.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Mercury. See the exciting new line of 1991 Mercury automobiles at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. By Labatt's Blue, the crisp, clean taste of Canada's best beer. And by Skin Bracer Aftershave. There's no better way to face the day.
Jim Johnson is still down. He is dazed. He doesn't appear to be bleeding. One more look at it as he cut between Ron Francis and Paul Stanton. As he was spinning around, and you can see that before Stanton or Gordie Roberts, before Roberts stepped over him, he was already holding his face, and it looked like he made contact with the bottom of Tom Barrasso's skate or possibly his pad, but there doesn't seem to be any blood on the ice, so he's definitely not cut, but he is obviously shaken.
And Roberts goes to the penalty box as a result. The penalty a minute and 7 seconds into the opening period. It's Francis will be assessed a hooking penalty rather than Roberts. And Minnesota, who had difficulty with their power play in the opening game, will get the first chance here tonight. The concern right now is the condition of Jimmy Johnson. He played for the Pittsburgh Penguins until December when a 4-player deal was struck between the Penguins and the North Stars.
Well, both of the coaches have made lineup changes tonight. Bob Gainey has taken both Basil McRae and Shane Churla out of his lineup. This doesn't figure to be a real tough physical series anyway in a fighting sense, so they are out. And Doug Smale and Perry Berezan are both in their first playoff games this year. I mean, they didn't play in round 1, 2, 3, but they're playing here in the finals. Bob Johnson has removed Grant Jennings, Scott Young, who scored one here in Game 1, and also Yuri Hrdina. We showed you that Paul Coffey is back in the lineup, so he is one guy that is in. Randy Gillen replaces Hrdina, and Jim Pack, a rookie defenseman, takes Grant Jennings' place on the blue line. So Bob Johnson knows that he has got some depth and some bench strength, too.
And the lucky tie has been replaced. That's not the tie he wore here for Game 1 or through the 4 consecutive wins over the Boston Bruins, but the same young man who'd given them the previous tie, David Anser, presented them with the one he's wearing tonight.
You know, Jakes, it looks like Jim Johnson is actually limping a bit. He was holding his face immediately, but now it looks like he's on the limp. At least he is on the bench. That's a good sign for him.
A note on the Pittsburgh penalty killing as Minnesota sends Gagne to center ice. Tenorti has moved up on the right side. Ryan Propp is on the left side of their forward line. Gillen took the draw, won it, and Peter Taglianetti plays it through center ice. Bellows playing the left point. Cross ice, Gagne got it to the far side. Tenorti back to Bellows. To Tenorti as he goes back to the net. Tenorti can't spot anybody at the blue line. Not much movement on the power play, but here's Gagne with a shot. Barrasso down, and the rebound is handled by the Penguins, and the net is on. 24 seconds into the power play, we get a whistle. These nets very loose. The magnet's not holding them in place.
So Andy Van Hellemond immediately signaled the faceoff will go outside, but typical Minnesota power play, get it to the front of the net. And you can see they don't have an outnumbered situation. The 4 Penguins collapse back in because they know that the North Stars are just going to drive and hammer away at it and try and outman them in front. But Peter Taglianetti really put the stick, as you may have noticed, to Brian Propp's back. And they were able to survive this whole attack. But then when Gordie Roberts shoved Dave Gagne face first against the net, it popped off, and sure enough, Andy Van Hellemond signaled the face-off outside. Dave Gagne didn't seem to argue it, but it was Roberts who pushed him into it.
With that call, that's something that Pittsburgh had indicated they wanted to have happen. Getting the face-off outside the line, and now Taglianetti got it to the point, but no further. Ryan Bellows dumps it in. Taglianetti can't clear it out. Here's Gagne to the side of the net. A backhander stays wide. Broughton after it. Knocked away from him. And held at the blue line by Tenorti. North Stars moving around the boards. And the Penguins are able to clear it out. Broughton gets pushed off the puck by Airy. The Penguins are chased back. That's Bellows in a collision with Taglianetti. Lemieux can't control it. Tenorti has lost his helmet, but controls the puck.
That was Lemieux that came up high on Tenorti and just popped his helmet off as if there was an explosive cap underneath, and it just came flying off his head.
Crowd reacting to the penalty killing of this Pittsburgh club. Up the ice comes Broughton. Across the line, slowed up by Mullen. Gets to the backhand, shifts to the forehand, centers. It's in the goal mouth and cleared aside. The Penguins trying to clear it and succeed with a 2-on-1. Mullen takes the pass from Gillen, comes in, shoots, bad save, the rebound for Gillen, can't get it by John Casey. Minnesota clearing it out of the zone, not far enough for an icing call, and quickly the Penguins come to center, but with a 2-line pass accepted by Mullen, while on the Minnesota side of the center ice stripe, crowd letting this Pittsburgh penalty killing squad hear about it. Great appreciation.
They were sure successful in game 1. The North Stars had 5 power plays. They didn't score on any. Technically, they were in 1 formation. But here on a shorthanded 2-on-1, Joe Mullen's shot goes right into John Casey. Talk about the worst place to end up with the rebound. Randy Gillen ended up exactly where John Casey had fallen, so that Casey was between Gillen and the net. But Joe Mullen took a real good look before he shot. Casey, as usual, out challenging, very aggressive on the play, and finally, help came back. But those are the kind of breaks that were hard to come by for the Penguins in game 1.
Now the North Stars with the face-off in the Pittsburgh zone, and still 25 seconds left on their power play. Bobby Smith with Madonna on the right side. Little jostling as Stanton moved up. Linesman Kevin Collins with some words for Stanton. Now he steps in. Gillen wins the face-off. Samuelson blasts it off the boards and down the ice.
One of the biggest reasons that Gillen is back in the lineup instead of Yuri Hrdina, the Pittsburgh Penguins did not fare well in the face-offs in game 1 here. Gillen's one of their top guys.
He was very effective in the series against Boston in games played here, Bill, but not so much at the Boston Garden. Minnesota elects to shoot it in. The hard around ends up here on the left side, and the Penguins give up the puck. Mike Modano holds it, pulled it away from Lemieux, centered, only to have Samuelson clear it the length of the ice. Casey will handle it. The Canes at 6 aside. That avoided an icing call. Now the North Stars trying to come out. Smith right on the left wing boards with a pass into the middle. Poked over the line. Modano gets checked. Smith recovers outside the zone. Drops it back. This is Chris Dahlquist. With Neil Wilkinson on the right side of the D. Wilkinson steps over center and shoots it around the boards. Minnesota trying to complete a player change. That bounced right in front. It is scooped up and held by Tom Barrasso. It's a friendly little push, but he's held the puck long enough for a face-off.
Putting it together.
If you needed to put together a lot of information into a finished document of the highest copy quality, copy on both sides, reduce, enlarge, insert tabs, add covers, and make 12 perfectly bound booklets all in about 10 minutes, then there's only one copier that can do the job, the Xerox 5090, the way to put it together. Faxing, scanning, copying, printing. Xerox, the document company.
This particular cartoon is in the Pittsburgh dressing room. It was cut out of the paper on March 31st. Pittsburgh loves to be known as the city of champions. You've got the Pirates and the Steelers, and a helping hand from the Steelers trying to get the Penguins up to that level. They had just clinched the Patrick Division title at that time. Is there enough room? I think there is.
They'll make room if there isn't. Even if you have to hang over the edge a little bit, there's room.
You can't get in or out of the Pittsburgh dressing room without seeing that cartoon on their chalkboard every morning or evening when he arrived for the game. Roberts from back of the Pittsburgh goal to Murphy. Can't clear the territory. Now Roberts gets to it. Tony Roberts elects to carry it through center, then fed Recchi. Recchi trying to go around Bobby Smith. Centers it in front off the skates of Roberts, away from Murphy. And down the left side comes Stu Gavin. Trying to catch up as Francis. Long shot is wide and held in by the North Stars, only to have Francis get a stick on it, but fail to clear it out. And Bellows works it in deep. Also out of the net, plays it to the near side. This is Gordy Roberts. A pass off the stick of Francis, chasing it is Murphy. Larry Murphy overled Francis, waiting at the Minnesota blue line. Once more, Bobby Smith leads the attack. Smith trying to move through traffic, sets up Bellows for a shot that was off the target. And controlled here by Ron Francis. The outlet is a long pass to Recchi. Recchi, Stevens open, but he couldn't accept the pass, and back with it is Mark Bureau. Bureau, a goal scorer in game one, collides with a teammate. Larry Barazan out for his first shift. Gave it back to Bureau. Bureau trying to get to the high slot, has to turn and shoot it back to the net. Loose here on the left wing side. Troy Loney clears it out. Pass to Recchi, cross ice, Trottier over on the far wing, can't control it. Here's Bureau. Barazan unable to handle it. Peter Taglianetti takes a hit as he dumps it to John Casey. We played 5 minutes of the opening period. There is no score. Game 2, the Stanley Cup final on Sports Channel America. We'll watch Perry Barazan move across the line. The former Calgary Flame puts it back in the net. Big collision there. The Penguins come away with the puck. Some jostling as Doug Spale took exception to the hit. This is Yager, and it's knocked off his stick by Gavin. Trottier freed it. Yager with that long reach. Can't check Gavin. Gavin with a sharp angle shot. It's loose from the goal mouth and cleared by Yager. Right to the Minnesota player coming in, and look where the net is. 14 minutes, 25 seconds remaining in the opening period. We'll put that net back on, and we'll get the play underway again.
Yeah, we just scored. No, I didn't see Kevin get hit.
Kev, you okay? I wind up in the hospital, and Bob gets a winning goal.
I couldn't let Kevin miss the party.
I was having a pretty good time where I was.
Friends deserve the best.
Friendship. Just being there.
The crisp, clean taste of Canada's best beer, Labatt's Blue.
I have to be flat on my back to get Bob to buy me a blue.
Between friends, it's true blue. Labatt's Blue.
Well, Stu Gavin could have been an offensive star in this hockey game already. He's had 2 excellent scoring chances. Tom Barrasso got one. The other one he shot wide. But on his rebound with 3 Penguins in front, there's Paul Stanton, number 22. The Penguins fell into the net, it looked like accidentally at first, but when he saw the net going over, he just said, well, I might as well help it. And how do you score when the net is like that? It's like, it used to be in practice, when one goalie would go off, you'd have to bank the puck off the backboards and into the net when it was on its face like that.
This time, Bill, the faceoff does stay deep in the zone. And the Penguins come up with the puck. Passes to Recchi, and now across to Samuelson. Steps over center. Makes the pass to Lemieux to Samuelson. Quick shot turned aside by Casey. Tenorti rounds the net. Mark Tenorti handed away from Lemieux. And at center ice is dumped down into the zone off the stick. And Duchesne came right out in front. Penguins able to handle it. Lemieux with a pass to Stanton. 3-on-3 at center. Recchi has cleared it on into the Minnesota territory, forcing Tenorti to hustle back. Tenorti back off the boards, and at center ice, Roberts waits for it. Roberts overshot it. It's checked by Duchesne. That frees things. A tumble at the blue line. No call as Magano went down, and Bourque takes it cross ice. That's Mullen chasing it. Johnson knocked it away from him. They collide in the corner. The puck is loose back to the net. Ryan Propp won the race for it, but it's held in, and Roberts centers one that's wide. Taken down is Mullen, and the crowd upset with that. Meantime, Gagne works the puck smartly towards center ice. Got it right back. Nice give and go with Jimmy Johnson, but the play broken up. Out comes Murphy with a feed to the big guy. Lemieux waits for Stevens to go to the net. Stevens tips it just wide. Meantime, the Penguins regain control of the puck, and Gagne gets checked at the line. Pittsburgh setting up at their own blue line. This is Roberts. Up ahead over leading Stevens on the play.
You know, the North Stars dodged a bullet there. The one thing they can't afford is turnovers, especially at the Pittsburgh Penguins blue line. Their counterattack, the Penguins' counterattack is one of the best in hockey, and the North Stars lost it on that last drop on their rush.
Now they're into the Pittsburgh zone, only to have the shot blocked by defenseman Gordy Roberts. He's fed Mullen. Mullen through center ice. Francis got hung up with Pagano, and here's Stevens chasing a loose puck. Cleared away by Casey. Gagne and Francis after it. Gagne gets checked. Francis closes in for a backhander that's blocked. Mullen on the rebound, and he's chased off the puck. Big collision in the goal mouth. Stevens being pinned there by Bobby Smith as the North Stars trying to get over center ice. Gaglianetti back is giving it to Jim Pack. In the lineup for the first time in the Stanley Cup final. A brief shift. And now Minnesota trying to come out of the zone. Long pass, recovered by Smith. Here's over the line on the left side. Crisscrossing here, holds it to the backhand, shoots. Turned aside by Barrasso. An injured Minnesota player outside the blue line. Brian Bellows is down. And referee Andy Van Hellemond has called the play. Denorti is screaming at the referee. Once more, the training staff out to attend to an injured Minnesota North Star. And this would appear to be a knee injury, Bill.
Well, it may be from the waist down, Jakes. He doesn't seem to be favoring a shoulder because he's on his elbows. That's a sure sign that his shoulders are still working, and is usually an indication that it's somewhere from the waist down, whether it be ankle or knee or Charlie horse. You can kind of assume that it is, too, with the crossing pattern. There goes Bellows right across the center line, and Ulf Samuelsson right up on him with the knee. Didn't look like Samuelsson had his knee extended that much as it did Bellows trying to step to the side to get by Samuelsson, but would that be a key loss to the North Stars? Hope he's all right.
With the score, the Penguins nothing, the North Stars nothing. We pause for a regional break. Watching Sports Channel America's exclusive Stanley Cup coverage.
This is the National Spa and Pool Institute Design Award, a symbol of great prestige among pool builders. In the last 15 years, Pool Doctor has earned no less than 10. But our commitment to excellence is demonstrated by more than just awards. Only the finest craftsmanship and materials are used when constructing a Pool Doctor swimming pool or spa. Awards are nice, but they don't make a great pool company. Building great pools does. The Pool Doctor, 368-1330.
Well, Brian Bellows is still in pain, but at least he also was on the bench. And I said it's a good sign that he's on the bench. If he was that bad, he would be in the dressing room right now. So Brian Bellows will most likely be back.
And as play gets underway, the Penguins trying to come out of their own zone. Yager over on right wing is checked. Barrasso jumps in the air to knock that down, and his teammates help out here. Impact playing it up the board. Trottier will chase it through center ice. Hustling back for Minnesota's Brian Glynn. Failed to clear it out. Airy knocked it down. Crashes into Glynn. And Minnesota with an effort to move it out. Broken up as Berezan reached for it. Knocked down again. And brought down this near side. Long drive by Chambers misses the net. Rebounds out towards center where Trottier will recover. Ryan Trottier to Yager is over the line. Shoots one. Turned aside by Casey. Trottier on the right side trying to put it back to the net. Hero lost it. Here's Yager turning. Draws a couple of people toward him. Has the puck in his skates. Gets it on the stick. Then can't center it. Right into a good solid check. And he is still being bothered on the play by Glynn. Trottier centers it from the side of the net. Casey lays that up the boards and out towards center ice for Berezan.
How handy is it to have a sixth guy back there, a third defenseman? John Casey just seems to take charge whenever he has to, and now Andy Van Hellemond's going to take charge. Penalties coming here. Samuelson's in the middle of it again.
Danielson has become a target very early. Minnesota and Pittsburgh caught in a player change here. A lot of traffic in front of the benches. And referee Andy Van Hellemond appears to be penalizing only one player, a Pittsburgh player, I believe. He's got Bob Airy and Trottier readjusting the shoulder pads. He'll go for a rest, and Minnesota is going to go to the power play.
Each year, the experts at Car and Driver look at over 100 cars, so you don't have to. From the current new cars, they just picked their 10 best. At the most, you'll probably only buy one of them. That's too bad, because 2 of the 10 best are Mercury's. Mercury Sable and Mercury Tracer LTS. All this in the quality of a Mercury.
There's Bob Airy in the penalty box. You see the call. 9:08 of the opening period.
You know, it was kind of an innocent-looking play. Perry Berezan had the puck along the boards and was being taken out by Ulf Samuelsson, and it looked like Bob Airy just came over and gave him a shot. I mean, it wasn't much of a hit at all. Doug Smale came in to try and help out. The guy that didn't want to let this entire thing die was Peter Taglianetti. I'm surprised he didn't get a penalty.
Only the one call, and Minnesota's on the power play for the second time in this game. Each team has had 6 shots on goal. Gagne will be at center ice. Brian Bellows is back out on the ice. He's playing right wing. Samuelsson is shoulder to shoulder with Bellows on this faceoff. They bump one another, and the North Stars are forced down the ice after Stanton got control of it. And Stanton and Propp exchange with the sticks at center ice. Here's Tenorti starting out. Tenorti with a pass that was behind Bellows. Gagne reaching for it has cleared it into the Pittsburgh end of the ice. Barrasso play it up along the right wing boards, and it goes out of play. But the referee is indicating it was touched by someone before it cleared the glass, so there is no delay of the game penalty on Barrasso.
You know, revenge is something that has to be absolutely secondary for all these players. Brian Bellows, we had mentioned, lined up beside Ulf Samuelsson. But remember, before game 1, I asked Brian, what do you do if Ulf Samuelsson tries to make you a Cam Neely and comes after you all the time? And that's when he pointed out that he's faced all kinds of tough defensemen, from Dave Manson to Scott Stevens, and that he didn't want to get emotionally wrapped up in it. Well, this may be the test now for Brian Bellows. Samuelsson has already made his presence felt earlier in this game than he did in game 1.
Samuelsson here is shifted over to the right side of the defense, with Stanton coming to the left. Minnesota, remember, with a power play on the ice. Propp, Gagne, and Bellows, Tenorti and Broughton. And filling it off, Randy Gillen and Joey Mullen up front. Samuelsson and Stanton on defense. Just joined us, there is no score. This is game 2, the Stanley Cup final. Minnesota leads 1-0. Ball start on the draw. Propp will line up again on the left side of the circle. Gillen wins the draw from Gagne, and Samuelsson plays it around the board. Mullen checked by Tenorti. Minnesota unable to keep control of the puck. Now they get it to Propp, and Samuelsson beats him. Heavy collision. Propp without a helmet. Has the puck, however. Can't center it. Now he gets it to Brian Bellows. Back it goes. This is Broughton to Tenorti to Gagne. Right back to Tenorti to Gagne. Gagne shoots one. That's wide of the net. Broughton can't get to it. Tenorti does. Mark Tenorti centers one in front off the left pad of Barrasso, and it's cleared out by Randy Gillen.
Still simple stuff on the power play. Just get it in front and hope for an overload and a cramming play. But you notice the Penguins are rushing the point man. They're not even giving Tenorti a chance to line it up and to take his time with it.
Tenorti right there, snapped one, the glove save, and it's cleared up by Barrasso. 45 seconds remaining in Airy's boarding penalty. Casey out of the net will set it up for Mark Tenorti. Chambers has come out to join him on defense. Meantime, Toronto can't make the pass at the blue line. Dolan was there and wide open.
Another difference in this game already. Tom Barrasso has had 2 chances to really make a good glove save. The last one was that long shot that looked like it was going over the net. But we mentioned in game 1, the North Stars feel the key to Barrasso getting his confidence is catching the puck. And they kept it away from his glove hand until the middle of the second period in game 1. He's already snared 2 of them. We'll see if he looks more secure in this game than he did, because he looked off balance in game 1.
Here they are into the zone again. Bobby Smith in the dying seconds of the power play sets up Madonna back to the blue line. In, that's the play in deeper. The center, Smith was there. Another shot is turned aside, and Mullen has cleared the zone. That just after the penalty to Airy had expired. The North Stars had 2 shots with the man advantage. Now the puck dumped in and called back. And we have 8 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in a scoreless first period at Pittsburgh.
Now how am I going to get there? It'll be great to see the guys again. I wonder if they'll all show. I just gotta get there.
I'm trying to make my way back to the Brackendale River.
Friends deserve the best.
This is great. They all showed up.
The crisp, clean taste of Canada's best beer, Labatt's Blue.
What took you so long?
I had a little car trouble.
Between friends, it's true blue, Labatt's Blue.
Elvis is with us. Can you give us a couple of bucks? That's live. Well,
of Ross, Pennsylvania. He works for MedCheck in North Hills. He does have a day job, really.
Well,
he's also a singer, isn't he?
He is. He sings for a country and western group called Borderline, so he's got a voice. That's legitimate.
We'll have to scout him out after this game. Big time. Here's a chance developing in front of backhander off Barrasso. There to the corner. Recovered. Broughton with it. Bill Broughton avoids a check. Came right through the goal mouth. And the North Stars are forced out towards center ice. They've had the Penguins backed in several times in this opening period. Now Mark Recchi is into the Minnesota zone. Nice pass. Francis with a shot that's wide. Here's Recchi with a backhand step in. It's under Casey. Held at the doorstep.
Boy, Mark Recchi looks like he's on fire tonight. Recchi was not happy with his performance in Game 1. He was asked after the game how he played, and he simply said, "I stunk." And when an athlete is that unhappy with his performance, you know that he's committed to coming out and playing here in Game 2. There's no question about it. The Penguins need him. The wraparound attempt, and give John Casey a lot of credit. It is difficult to get over there and seal it off that quickly. Traffic in front as well. So when Mark Recchi came around, watch Casey simply right over to the post as quickly as he could. Classic stand-up style, might have gone over and actually leaned against the post, but not John Casey. And Kevin Stevens wants to come out bigger and stronger. That hit on Stu Gavin tells you how committed he is to Game 2. Although Stevens had a big hit in the first shift. Remember, he knocked down Chris Dahlquist, and I said, boy, Stevens looks like he's ready, but he tailed off after that in Game 1.
Now Stevens on the left with Francis in the middle and Recchi on the right side. Recchi trying to knock it away from Tinordi, but Dolan has it. Dolan moves it towards center for Bobby Smith. Long shot, gloved and dropped off by Tom Barrasso. Larry Murphy playing it around the board. Stevens can't get it out of the zone. Murphy will try the other side of the ice. Flips it up the boards toward Recchi. He's backhanded it to the line, and Smith had that well read. Larry Murphy flips it out of the zone. Shot right back in by Bobby Smith, and its effort is blocked by the linesman. So Murphy gets a chance to play it. His pass to Recchi didn't materialize, and then Recchi is taken down by Tinordi. He gets back into the play here as Brian Klopp moves the puck out towards center ice. Back on it is Stanton. Recchi uses the boards to dump it in. Again, Tinordi got a chunk of them. Puck ends up here in the right wing board. The North Stars fail to clear it out. Samuelson dumped one off in front. That's broken up and brought back by Smith. 3-on-3. Smith cutting to the wide side here. Puts it in front. Prop sets up Madonna. He got checked before he can shoot it. Bobby Smith centers one in front. A late penalty call coming as Loney touches the puck. The third penalty in a row is called against the Pittsburgh Penguins. 6 minutes, 54 seconds remaining in the opening period. Game 2 at Pittsburgh. And the Minnesota North Stars will put the power play out for the third time in this period.
When you buy Valvoline motor oil, you get quality, high performance, protection, and now, for a limited time only, great taste. It's Valvoline's 125th birthday. And right now, when you buy 12 quarts of Valvoline, and buy 12 cans of any Coca-Cola product, we'll pay for the Coca-Cola product. People who know use Valvoline. With other motor oils, you just won't get the great taste of Coca-Cola Classic.
The penalty is on Mark Recchi of the Penguins. 2 minutes for cross-checking.
And Jiggs, he just ended up with a level of frustration that was out of control. Remember, he locked skates with Tinordi and nothing was called? Well, after that, he boarded Chris Dahlquist and nothing was called. And it was like he had set his phaser on something other than stun and was bound he was going to get somebody before it was over. But you can't think that way. Mark Recchi didn't cool down in time.
And this Minnesota power play, which has stumbled in this series, can only go so long without putting one on the board. And when they do, they'll establish a new Stanley Cup playoff record for most power play goals. Smith at center to take this face-off against Randy Gillen. Smith won the draw. The North Stars set up at the point. This is Chambers. Up toward Glynn. Holds it. Now sets up Glynn for a long shot that's blocked by Mullen. Mullen chasing it to the left wing boards. Glynn gets back to knock it away from him. Now Chambers to handle the puck. John Chambers. Lozano up and down, but from their own side of center ice, Barrasso played it. That avoided an icing call. And Stanton tries to tie up Dolan. Here's Smith from back of the net. Lozano open in the corner, takes the pass. Leads it to the blue line off Chambers. Now he lets one go, and it's tipped high and wide by Bobby Smith, and that puck ends up in the seats.
Well, the onus now will be on Bobby Smith and his power play mates. The Pittsburgh Penguins are forcing them all over the place, and basically they are saying to Bobby Smith and his guys, we're not going to give you those long shots and allow you to overload the front of the net. What happens then is when the puck goes back to a Mark Tenorti on the point and he's got somebody rushing, people like Bobby Smith have to adjust out of their normal position, perhaps in front for a rebound, and move to the side to give the guy on the point an out. It throws them off and it takes them away from what they like to do best. But we'll see if they can adjust. The onus now is on the North Stars power play to read it and react to it.
Lemieux has come out as a penalty killer. Harry is the other forward. Roberts and Taglianetti on defense as we watch Neil Broughton dump one in. Actually fired it in hard. Roberts is able to clear it out. Forward is Tenorti and Broughton. That's their power play combination on defense. Broughton, the forward, dropping back to play the left side. Handles it here. 2 goals in the opening game the other night. The pass was behind Bellows there, and Taglianetti slaps it through center ice. 53 seconds remaining in Recchi's cross-checking penalty. Minnesota having trouble making that pass at center. Taglianetti feeds it up to Bob Airy. Airy off the right wing boards. Lemieux dragged down as they headed to the net. Airy with a shot. He scores!
Penguins power play only went 1 for 8 in game 1, but they scored a shorthander. They get another shorthanded goal here. They don't need the power play now. Watch Lemieux being dragged down. There was a delayed penalty on. Didn't matter. Bob Airy decided to go his own way, and he stopped. Neil Broughton was back, number 7 of the North Stars, and watch what happens. Broughton keeps backing in. When Airy stopped, Gagne slid by him. Broughton was in front. Great shot selection by Bob Airy. He got it up on John Casey, and the Penguins lead 1-0.
Taglianetti gets the assist on that goal at 14:26 of this opening period. Still half a minute to go on Recchi's penalty. Minnesota playing 6 against 5. Samuelsson gets cuffed by Bellows. Samuelsson has the puck underneath him and play is called. Bellows is being challenged. Words from Randy Gillen. Linesman Kevin Collins in between them. Collins is working his 4th Stanley Cup final. There's your goal scorer, Bob Airy.
You know what I noticed after the goal was scored, Jigs? Just how hard Mario Lemieux cheered. I mean, he was psyched. Give Bob Airy a lot of credit. You know that he's isolated on a forward, and that Neil Broughton may not react the way a defenseman should. And Broughton there should have gone to Bob Airy, but he didn't. He backed off of him, typical of a guy that doesn't play the position. And you might have gotten a glimpse at the bottom of your screen of Mario jumping into the air. How bad does he want this game and this series and this cup?
That's the 4th playoff goal for Bob Airy. Only 1 in the last dozen games in the regular season. He's found the touch, and now the North Stars applying pressure. Centering pass, blocked in front. Gagne got to it, couldn't shoot it. That drive from Glenn is deflected, and there's a penalty call coming here. North Stars down on the deck. They give the puck away, and Gillen's clearing effort goes for naught. Another penalty against the Penguins. This one will be for holding on Samuelsson. Bellows getting back to his feet. And Minnesota one more time with a man advantage.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. 5 minutes.
This bench gets a professional finish with Krylon spray paint. No runs, no drips, no errors. Dries to the touch in minutes. The other brand's still tacky. Wow! What a game!
Good game, Mr. Euchre.
He's a lot tougher than he looks. For a fast, smooth, professional finish, get Krylon.
Samuelsson takes the penalty. 15 minutes, 12 seconds into the opening period.
They made Brian Bellows pay a little too high a price along the boards, but one thing the Penguins are doing are protecting a little better. And you notice that all of the North Stars in front aren't able to get their shots. And it was actually Samuelsson, I don't know, could have been on Brian Propp, it could have been on Dave Gagne. Samuelsson, and there's Stanton taking down Brian Bellows as well. So when you get in that close, it's so difficult in that quick pace. And at that speed, you can see how fast things are happening. How do you tie up a guy's stick when it's moving that quickly? You get in that close with enough people, sooner or later, you almost always either score or draw a holding penalty, and that's what the North Stars did.
Ron Francis is charged with winning the faceoff on Bobby Smith. Pittsburgh comes up with the puck, wrapped it around the boards and away from the defenseman, Brian Glynn. Glynn and Chambers on the points. Smith working with Madonna, and Bellows has the forwards. Handling it here. Madonna got it in hard around. Lemieux crunched him on the boards after he had dumped the puck in. John Chambers at the point. Plays it into the corner. That's Dolan. Dolan has replaced Bellows. And Bobby Smith after the puck. It's tied up by Lemieux. Now reacting to the check thrown by Lemieux. Here's Ulf Dolan with it now. Dolan trying to get it to Smith. That was blocked by Taglianetti. Dolan once more turning on the Pittsburgh defenseman. And there's Lemieux. Digs it loose and puts it back in the net. Cody Roberts, nice play around the boards and out of the zone with a pass for Lemieux. Lemieux moves across the line, working on Brian Glynn, trying to move around him, does, and shot it wide. Lemieux got decked by Glynn, back of the play. Moving up here is Bobby Smith. Shovels it across the line, and Mullen trying to clear that. It was blocked. Comes loose, and Mullen with a feed here to Gillen. He's one-on-one with Canordi. Mullen up to join the play, and the hard shot is wide of the net. Joey Mullen lost it to Brian Bellows and takes it away from him. Mullen trips as he tries to put it in the slot, and there will be a penalty against Minnesota. Trot controls the puck, the play called. 36 seconds remained in the penalty to Samuelson, and the North Stars run into this hooking penalty.
Rule number one when you're killing a penalty: if you're in the offensive zone and somebody lays a stick on you and has to hook you back, persevere. Keep your legs turning, and that's what Joe Mullen did to draw the penalty. Good work by Joe Mullen, and when he finally had a chance at the puck, watch him here. He just keeps on going, and finally he just bailed out on it and went down. But Brian Bellows, you notice, was hooking him. That's a legitimate call, even though Joey Mullen made it look good. And RoboCop was out there. No, not Samuelson. Mario Lemieux. He took Madonna into the boards just where the glass starts. And players know that's a dangerous part. If you can get a guy over there, you really can do some damage. Lemieux came back on this rush after, and that was a clean takedown. Everybody here wanted a penalty. Lemieux did well to get a shot away, but Brian Glynn really did an outstanding job of tying him up and taking him down. That's a handful.
Bellows gets the gate for hooking at 16:36, Bill, and the team's 4-on-4. Lots of ice here for Stevenson Recchi on behalf of Pittsburgh. Keeping that Minnesota zone. Stevens gets wrapped up with Dahlquist. Recchi trying to dig it out of their skates. Ends up in the stick of Gavin. He can't clear the zone. Good play by Dahlquist to tie up his man, but Murphy held it at the point. Larry Murphy hustling back. Gives it to Gordy Roberts. Roberts looks, makes the pass up ahead. Turning with it is Stevens. Now Paul Coffey steps on the ice as Pittsburgh has the power play for the first time. Stevens with a shot. Pad saved by Casey. Coffey, number 77, backing through center ice. He has lost approximately 10 pounds since the broken jaw, and he's got the puck. The crowd reacting. It was rolling on him as he moved it over the line. Recchi goes back to the net, trying to make the play around the boards. Murphy held it in his skates. Stevens turned it toward the corner, only to have the North Stars pick it up and shoot it down the ice. The champ is Coffey. Coffey with the pass. Yager taking it from Murphy. Sends Francis over the line. His drive is scooped up and held by Casey. 43 seconds left in the power play for the Penguins. And the key to it right now is number 77.
A lot of these people are giving him a standing ovation. And all he's done is stepped on the ice. They love him here. He can go end to end. And in power play situations, he will help the Penguins. But Jakes, given his weight loss, given the fact that his strength is not defense, it is offense, you have to wonder how much Bob Johnson will use him in even strength situations. I'm not sure that they can afford a weakened Paul Coffey at even strength. Definitely will use him on the power play, but don't expect to see him a lot, at least for a game or two at even strength.
By appearing here tonight, he is in his 5th Stanley Cup final. 3rd overall in career playoff points put up by a defenseman behind Denny Potvin and Larry Robinson. Yager being asked to back up on the edge of the circle. He complies as Francis leans in on this faceoff. Yager is cheated in. Now he backs up. Penguins play the puck in deeper, but there's Tinordi. Is surrounded by Yager and Francis. Stu Gavin over on the opposite side of the ice clears it out. And it's knocked down by Bort. Bort up ahead with Francis on left wing. Francis taken to the board by Dahlquist. Protects the puck well, and Yager gets to it here. Jaromir Yager to the big guy. Mario Lemieux at the top of the circle. Looks, fakes, and sets it back to the point. Paul Coffey to Lemieux. Couldn't one-time that. That's a Coffey for a drive. Blocked by Casey. The rebound to Lemieux, and it's turned aside by Casey with a snap to the right side. This is Lemieux. Lemieux, a slap shot blocked by Dahlquist. It comes off the boards, and Broughton clears it down the ice. He had spotted Bellows, who had just stepped out of the penalty box, but couldn't get the puck to him cleanly.
See Brian Bellows, did he ever test Paul Coffey? He didn't even care about the puck. He rode Coffey into the boards.
Coffey, in the meantime, went looking for one of the North Stars, and now clears the puck through center ice. A barrel roll and a hit, and will result in a penalty to Minnesota as Recchi is taken down. And the Minnesota North Stars will have a power play opportunity with exactly a minute and 1 second to play in this opening period. Trache with some words. Talking to Chambers.
Well, this series has heated up, hasn't it? All kinds of yapping, all kinds of jabbing. There's the penalty to Sean Chambers. Boy, he really got a piece of Mark Recchi. Here's Paul Coffey after he dumped the puck up, and you can see that Brian Bellows just wanted to test him, rammed him into the glass. And this was a long shift for Paul Coffey. Boy, he has had a ton of adrenaline, I'm sure, piled up, and he went all the way out into the neutral zone. Wanted to get somebody. Turned out that it was Bobby Smith, the closest guy. But that was a long shift. Paul Coffey, you know, with the weight loss, you end up with this adrenaline flow that forces you to actually overextend out there. And you have to mentally overrule what your body is telling you to do. Your body's saying, keep going. Your head has to say, listen, it's my first game back in 10. I can't overextend because I'm going to get tired.
He has wanted to play, has waited for doctor's clearance. And I'm not really sure that he got doctor's clearance when you consider he was told maybe game 5, Paul, just be patient. What he has done here is brought the shark fins and the music from Jaws into our ears. They have fun at the Civic Arena. Vince Lachine, the organist, has pretty much turned over the entertainment during the play to the man with the music. They have about 5 or 6 special tunes that you hear. Still haven't heard the big one yet. Hey, we may. Coffey back to the point. Murphy. Recchi to Murphy, a right-handed shooting defenseman, lets one go. It's tipped in there, it's centered, and they score! Stevens!
Special teams all the way. This time a power play goal. But a Minnesota formation. The Penguins threw something at the North Stars. It's usually the other way around. Watch this. Murphy in deep. They end up with a 2-on-1 in front. Stevens is on the right of your screen. Lemieux is on the left. Stevens to Lemieux, and give Mario Lemieux a ton of credit. He didn't even try to shoot. He popped it back to Stevens, and this wasn't even a 2-on-1 in front. It was a 2-on-none. Chris Dahlquist had moved up and really got caught on the play. So the Penguins use a North Stars formation in front and score and lead it 2-0.
Stevens with his 14th in the playoffs. He just gave the puck away at the line, and that drive is wide of the net. Dolan moving in. Bellows there as well, and the Pittsburgh Penguins are able to clear it out of the zone. 25 seconds left in the opening period. Pittsburgh up by a score of 2-0. Minnesota able to move it across the line. Gagne waits, they can't get it to him. And now Francis clears it out to Joey Mullen. One-on-one here. Mullen with Johnson backing in. Can't get around the defenseman. A little slugfest. Mullen down on the deck. Play allowed to continue. Roberts with a shot from the point that's grabbed and held by Casey just as the period comes to a close. This series has certainly heated up. That battle with Johnson and Mullen was one thing. Casey is another.
Well, now we'll see just how resilient Bob Gainey and his North Stars are. We talked about their ability to really bend without breaking, but they're down 2-0, and the Pittsburgh Penguins are a committed team. Much better for the Penguins here in this first period than in Game 1.
Certainly was, and Lemieux talks to referee Andy Van Helleman as the teams leave the ice here. We're at the end of one period. Penguins 2, North Stars nothing, and we pause now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel America's exclusive Stanley Cup coverage.
What's inside Chevy Lumina?
Room! Room, room.
Room. The most six-passenger room in its class.
Room!
More people are winning with the heartbeat of America.
Room!
Hello?
Hi, honey. I just checked in.
How was the flight?
Bad food, good movie.
I miss you.
I miss you, too.
I feel so alone when you're not here.
Did you lock all the doors and turn on the ADT system?
Yep.
The last thing a burglar wants to see. ADT helps protect your home and family 24 hours a day, every day of the year by linking your home to an ADT customer service center. Call 1-800-ADT-INFO. For a small monthly fee and one-time installation charge, our SafeWatch system can help protect your home against break-ins, fire, and medical emergencies. Help protect your home. Help protect your peace of mind. Call 1-800-ADT-INFO.
I'll see you at home tomorrow night, then. I love you both.
We love you, too. We'll be here.
ADT, we're home even when you're not.
ADT SafeWatch. Call this number now. Only $395 installation and $19.95 monthly monitoring fee. ADT, we're home even when you're not.
Our projection screen looks so real, you'll feel like part of the show when you watch the new RCA home theater. It also has surround sound that's so real.
Stand back, everyone.
You'll forget you're sitting at home.
Let me handle this.
Another way, RCA is changing entertainment again.
Now, save on over 100 models of RCA TVs, VCRs, and camcorders. Up to $200 worth of savings. But supplies are limited, so hurry to your participating RCA dealer today.
Little different story at the start of this one. Pittsburgh gets the only 2 goals of that first period of play. The special teams came up strong for Pittsburgh in that one. As we check the scoring summary, we find that on a shorthanded tally, it was Bob Airey getting his first shorthanded goal of the playoffs and his 4th of the playoffs overall from Peter Taglianetti at 14:26. And then the power play unit clicked with just 50 seconds left in the period. Kevin Stevens scored. The shots on goal for Pittsburgh, 14, for the Minnesota North Stars, 12. It turned out to be 2 players in alone on the goaltender. Kevin Stevens with a little bunt across to Mario Lemieux, and right back for Stevens, and he stashed it home. Kevin Stevens has joined us here in our studios. Much more intense first period tonight. Were you more happy with the first period tonight than you were the entire game?
Yeah, I think so. Our first game there, it looked like we were kind of feeling them out. We weren't really ready for the Minnesota North Stars, and it seems like it's been like that ever since the playoffs started. Our first game, we're kind of asleep out there, feeling we're not really attacking, we're not hitting. And I think this period we really want to come out and establish ourselves and do some hitting. There was a lot of penalties on our team, and I think they had 1 or 2 penalties, but I guess we got another one at the end there. So it's just going to be one of those games we're going to have to be patient and just work as hard as we can to get the win.
The hate seems to be picking up between these 2 teams. It's a little hard, I suppose, when you hadn't seen them since December the 20th.
It's always better to play them a little more, but this is when it gets fun, I guess, when everybody starts to get on each other a little bit, and that's what hockey's all about. It's a very intense sport, and for our team to play well, we have to have 20 guys into it, working each other, helping each other out, and forechecking and hitting like we're doing right now, and it's getting real fun right now. We just want to keep it at this pace.
Well, you dealt out some great punishment to Stu Gavin with 1 big solid check in the boards. I'm just wondering, are you getting quite a bit in front of the net? Do they play you as tough as Boston did?
Yeah, they're playing me pretty hard, but it's not as Boston paid a little more attention to me. I think they were on me a little more in front of the net, but they had some big guys in front of the net, and Minnesota concentrates more on team defense. Now, as the Bruins had, 1 or 2 guys playing good defense, shadowing or whatever on Mario and taking clear in front of the net. But these guys, counting on their 5 guys like Gavin and Duchesne. Those guys are playing good hockey, and they're strong players, and it's hard to get away from them. It's just going to take a lot of work.
Congratulations on the goal and the good start. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Kevin Stevens, one of the 2 goal scorers in this contest as Pittsburgh leads 2-0. Let's join John Davidson.
I'm with North Star assistant coach Doug Jarvis. Doug, your assessment of the period.
Well, we had our chances early in the period to get some goals. We didn't do it. You know that things, they'll start to get their chances, which they did, and they got 2 on us. So that's been the story.
You made an adjustment going into the game, 2 lineup changes. Was that for more speed?
We were looking to get a little more speed into the lineup with Smale and Berezan.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
To the drawing board goes Doug Jarvis and the Minnesota North Stars. First period has been completed with the home team tonight posting a 2-0 lead after the first 20 minutes.
Take a look at this revolutionary new car wax. Turtle Wax. That's right, new high-tech formula Turtle Wax. The easiest to use bring back the shine 12-month car wax. This is an old beater. Watch. This is a miracle. Nothing shines or protects better than Turtle Wax. We put this car through a year's worth of car washes. Not just any car wash, a saltwater bath. And water still beads. So get new high-tech formula Turtle Wax today.
10 years. His hair is a little thinner.
I don't remember her looking so beautiful.
Not bad. Our next chalk. Hello, stranger.
I'm hardly a stranger.
Well, you are late.
I know. You shouldn't have waited 10 years for this. Happy anniversary. The Diamond Anniversary Band. Tell her you'd marry her all over again.
You sure can pick an appetizer.
There comes a time when everyone has to leave home.
Good night, son.
Good night, Mom. For Danny Muldoon,
I'm not carrying this guy down 6 flights of stairs, I'll tell you that right now.
It's 20 years overdue.
Where are our breasts?
What?
You're built like a 13-year-old boy.
From John Hughes and Chris Columbus comes a comedy for anyone who's ever had a mother. Only the Lonely, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, May 24th at theaters everywhere.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt. Why Sports Cream? Massaging Sports Cream In brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why Sports Cream? Because it works.
Over 28 million adults get athlete's foot.
I'm Jim Bird. I had athlete's foot until I used NP27. It has an ingredient recommended by doctors.
Look, NP27 stops the burning, itching of athlete's foot fast.
NP27. Nothing's a better cure for athlete's foot.
People love the convenience of fax machines. What most of us don't like are funny paper faxes that curl up and are hard to read. That's why Xerox makes more kinds of plain paper fax machines than anyone else for documents that are easy to read and a pleasure to handle because they're on good old plain paper. Plain paper fax machines from Xerox, the way to put it together.
Putting it together.
Faxing, scanning, copying, printing. Xerox, the document company.
The North Stars return to the Met Center, a team brimming with confidence. The home ice advantage is theirs, and this Cinderella squad is ready to put the Penguins and Mario Lemieux on ice. See it live at 8 Eastern on Sports Channel America Sunday.
Along with the shout cards, a lot of happy fans holding them here at the end of the first period of our contest with the home squad in front of the Minnesota North Stars by a count of 2-0. Outside this Civic Arena, there are huge semi-trucks. There are miles of cable running to those trucks, satellite dishes posted all over the place, because this game is going all over Canada as well as the United States. We thought it'd be interesting to take you back to Game 1 and pick up Bobby Smith's winning goal. The call as made by the 5 different broadcasters.
He saw Erie to the corner of his eye. Lemieux is up in it. Here come the North Stars. Rambling back into the Penguins in. Man open is Gavin. Here's Bobby Smith with a shot. He beats Barrazzo on the backhand shot off the shoulder. Game 1 in. The North Stars have the lead 5-3.
3-on-2. Stars come back. Here's Bobby Smith's shot. They score! Bobby Smith just powered his way through traffic and backhanded one on to Barrazzo. 4-3 Minnesota, and they're coming inland by Bobby Smith. Backhand scores! Bobby Smith with a burst of speed.
Aurait pu faire une différence. Là, c'est Bobby Smith qui tire du verre et le but. Partie supérieure.
une chance unique à un bout de patinoire, le retour et une belle poussée de Bobby Smith.
Back come the Penguins into their own zone, being chased 3-on-2 for the North Stars, and a backhander, they score! Bobby Smith!
Mike and Doug and Bob and Claude and Jiggs have all taken a little bit of a break here between periods, but John Davidson won't. He'll be back with us in just a moment. Let's pause for this regional break. You're watching the Stanley Cup Championships on Sports Channel America.
The Giants led by a single point. 8 seconds remain. The stage was set for a heart-stopping finish in what would become the greatest Super Bowl ever.
And now Sports Illustrated presents True Blue. Giants steps to the Super Bowl, highlighting all 16 regular season games, the playoffs, and the Super Bowl. This new video is free with your paid subscription to America's #1 sports magazine. Call toll-free and get over 50 minutes of Power Football, plus Sports Illustrated at over 55% off the cover price. You can pay by credit card and enjoy 23 weeks of in-depth coverage, including our college and pro football previews and the 92 swimsuit issue. All for 3 easy monthly installments of $9.99 each. Just put it on your credit card. So call now for Sports Illustrated, along with this unforgettable video free.
It's not easy to follow in the tracks of a legend. Ask Ford Explorer. With 190 horses, Jeep Cherokee runs circles around it. Compare fuel economy and warranty. Explorer falls short. Finally, Cherokee has available 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. Explorer doesn't. Sorry, Explorer. This probably isn't a good time to bring up price.
There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers.
And you need a car, call your local Thrifty Car Rental. Need more room to roam? Call Thrifty. Special car for a special day? Call Thrifty. Car in the shop and you need a replacement? Call Thrifty. Now top them prices are down on Thrifty convertibles in Tampa, Florida. Airbag equipped. Reserve one now, convertible or any car, and save a lot of money. Tampa Thrifty Car Rental, because it's your money.
Zamboni has made its sweeps here at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, with the home team ahead of the Minnesota North Stars by a count of 2-0. John, observations on that period?
Well, Mike, a lot of specialty team work throughout this series to this point, and of course, you look at the Penguins, who did not have a shorthanded goal all through the playoffs until this series started. They've got 2 already, and it seems as though they just feel that with the North Stars power play, which has been so good, why not be aggressive and try to force turnovers in all zones? Now, you see 2 of the penalty killers right here, forcing the man with the puck, and because they're forcing him, he has to make the long cross-ice pass. We'll see him try and make it. That's Dave Gagne, and here you see it broken up, and this right here, as we stop it, that's Mark Tenorti, the only defenseman on the ice for Minnesota. So what happens when he's up ice and gets caught, that means that there's forwards back. Now, if we stop it again, we'll see Dave Gagne pick up Lemieux, and we're going to see another man back here, and that will be Broughton, who plays the point on the power play. So all of a sudden, it's a 2-on-2, but the 2 from the North Stars, as we see right here, if we stop it, we're looking at 2 forwards that are back in the defensive zone. The defenseman, Tenorti, is way up ice. Now, Lemieux here is going to drive to the net and draw a penalty if he can. No need. Gagne's down, and with Airy holding the puck, the 2 forwards are way back in on Casey. You'll see Tenorti break in and try and get back. The only defenseman the North Stars have. By the time he gets back, there he is, it's too late.
Well, you were speaking of penalties, and we were talking about Minnesota being on the power play when that goal by Bob Airy was scored. They're going to be on the power play again at the start of the second period. Right at the horn, Pittsburgh was caught for having too many men on the ice.
Well, it's interesting. The North Stars, that gives them something to build on during the intermission, but the Penguins certainly had their power play going a little bit better, and Coffey seemed to just to add something in the building. Maybe just a little adrenaline they needed.
Yeah, and a lot of speed, too. We'll be back with the start of the second period in our game after these words.
much of a good thing is a good thing. The new, incredibly comfortable Mercury Grand Marquis. All this on the quality of a Mercury.
This is it.
There's only one light beer with the big taste of Miller Genuine Draft. Cold filtered Genuine Draft Light.
Yeah, we're gonna need some help up here, over.
Discover Genuine Draft Light.
I got a meter.
Down, boy.
Oh, it's now or never.
Attention, shoppers. You're at a romantic dinner at her place. Candlelight, wine, something with a little spinach in it. And for dessert, humble pie. If she sees your dandruff.
I don't have dandruff.
Fine. Use your regular shampoo.
I can't have dandruff.
Aisle 9.
You mean you use Head and Shoulders?
Yeah.
But you don't have dandruff.
Right. Neither will she.
Head and Shoulders.
Hi.
Because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Okay, everybody, let's go.
We asked these experts on summer and Dad to help introduce the new Master Values program. Now get 10 to 25% off only with MasterCard. From cool things to pack for vacation at Montgomery Ward, to house paint at Sherwin-Williams, to a Sony Walkman at Woolworth, and lots more. Then watch the savings pile up. Look for Master Values only from MasterCard at these and other fine stores. And master the moment.
John Casey getting ready for the second period at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. His team is on the power play. Kevin Stevens in the box. The Penguins, got caught with too many men on the ice right at the end of the period. So here they are, shorthanded for the 5th time in the game. And Mike Emmerich informs us that the last 4 occasions that Pittsburgh has had too many men on the ice, they've given up a power play goal. Minnesota driving it in here off the stick of Neil Broughton. Samuelson back, rubbed out Gagne. They feed it back to the blue line. That shot by Tenorti is wide of the net. Samuelson reaching for it, plays it away from Bellows, away from Broughton as well, and down the ice. Casey holding it. He'll set it up. With feed to Broughton. Checks his options, decides to carry it through center ice. Over the line with it. Things open up. Broughton moves in, and the shot was steered aside at the defense. Taglianetti deflecting that. Tenorti plays it toward the corner. Gagne gets pushed off the puck. So does Prop. And the big guy, Mario Lemieux, shot it right to John Casey.
You know, the North Stars did not have a bad first period. If they can get one here, they'll make a horse race out of this game immediately. They were pretty happy with their first period.
They center one off the pads of Barrasso. They score! 5 for 5 when Pittsburgh takes a penalty for too many men on the ice. The other guys score.
One advantage when you shoot a puck on the power play is there aren't enough guys there very often to get the rebound, and Mike Modano got his own rebound. Nice move there, though, to go around and to go wide. Then just a sharp angle shot. Well, you know what? He was trying to pass to Prop. It was deflected by Lemieux onto Barrasso and went right back to him. Watch this. He's going to try and pass to Brian Prop here. There's Lemieux's stick. Deflected it onto Barrasso. No wonder he couldn't control the rebound. Went right back. And see where Barrasso's standing? That's because he was already pushing off, getting ready to get over to Brian Prop, who he anticipated, just as we saw in the replay, the guy was going to receive the pass. But they score on the power play, and now they're alive, 2-1.
Assists on the goal, Chambers and John Casey. Modano with his 7th in the playoffs. Pittsburgh's lead is cut in half at 2-1, and they're forced back into the zone again. Dolan moving down the boards, right into Stanton. And Kevin Stevens will play the puck towards Roy Loney. Loney is checked by Smith. Modano on the other side. Smith can't get the puck to him. Loney plays it in deeper, but Dolan is taken to the boards by Samuelson. Francis back to the puck. And Francis flips it up ahead too far for Kevin Stevens. Stevens gets in around Chambers. Casey out of the net. The puck comes loose in front. That's cleared by Smith. Casey gambled there, but got help from his teammates, and Chambers moves it towards center ice. Knocked away from Roberts. Right back is Murphy. Murphy. Tony Roberts. Nice exchange. Murphy through center ice with a burst of speed is across the Minnesota line. Murphy's shot is turned aside by Casey. Here's Lemieux with the rebound. That's it around the corner boards towards Troy Loney. Loney gets pushed into the boards. Taking it away from Wilkinson. Lost the puck. And North Stars get it to the line. It's brought back in offside, and play is called. We're 2 minutes and 6 seconds into the second period. It's now a 2-1 Pittsburgh lead.
Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game on Sports Channel America is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft Light. There's only one light beer with the big taste of Miller Genuine Draft. Cold filtered Genuine Draft Light. By Bartles and James Light, the new wine coolers with 1/3 fewer calories and more fresh fruit taste. And by Nestle Crunch. Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why you love Nestle Crunch.
Welcome to the Stanley Cup Championship round, right here on Sports Channel America. The series will move to Minnesota for games on Sunday and Tuesday. They'll start at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock on the West Coast. Live and exclusive on Sports Channel America. Pittsburgh, knowing that they have to go out of here at one game each if they have any chance to win the Stanley Cup, because Minnesota is so tough on home ice. Lost only twice since January. The puck goes out of play here. John Casey getting an assist on that goal by Madonna. He and Mario Lemieux in the spotlight just now.
Boy, that's, we talked in the first period about having that third defenseman back there. Quick up ice to Sean Chambers, right over to Madonna, and then Mike Madonna just went to work on his own, got by Phil Bourque, got the rebound off the deflection from Lemieux, but you can't imagine if a goalie is in control what an advantage it is. One of the problems, though, is very often goalies try to do too much. Casey seems to know when to get out and make the play and when to stay back.
Interesting that he played in the American Hockey League with a couple of guys on this Pittsburgh team. They said that he was a defenseman in a goalie's uniform.
Well, but they also said that his puck handling skills were unparalleled, but that he was also a little aggressive. He didn't pick his spots right.
Now Barrasso has one hit the pipe behind him and goes back to the net, controlled by Recchi. Pittsburgh playing it rather casual in their own zone, but now Mario Lemieux chases the puck in. It's too far ahead of him. Right up the boards by Chambers. Phil Bourque was there. Bourque puts it around behind the net. That's Recchi chasing it. Mark Recchi turns, dumps it back to the net once more. In goes Phil Bourque. Bourque is bumped by Glynn. Bourque able to kick the puck to Lemieux. That long reach, he can't get out in front of Casey. Now centers one. Nobody there in a white uniform, and up come the North Stars. 3-on-2. Gavin across the line. Fed it to the right side. They try to get it back to him. That doesn't work. Duchesne holds it in. Euro trying to move out of the corner. Over went Lemieux. In on the play as well as the other defenseman, Jim Pack. And the North Stars are forced out through center ice. Bourque with a long pass. Lemieux takes a dive at the blue line. No call. And the puck is cleared over the glass and on into the seats. We have 16 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the second period at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Find it.
A company can learn a lot in 125 years. As you learn, you make your product better and better. 125 years of quality. That's why people who know use Valvoline.
Bob Johnson, Bob Gainey. A little different approach to the coaching. Bob Johnson will talk your ear off. Bob Gainey, tough to get him to say any more than hi, how are you?
Yeah, you're exactly right. One's an extrovert, one seems to be an introvert, but they have something else in common. They don't raise their voices. The Pittsburgh Penguins players will tell you that they haven't heard Bob Johnson raise his voice yet. And when Bob Gainey communicates, I mean, he doesn't communicate with a decibel level that's going to injure your eardrums. It's the quality of his communication, and that's how he works as well. So they're similar in that respect.
Pittsburgh leading by a score of 2-1 as the North Stars come over the line. Wilkinson gets bumped. Harry takes a hit from Madonna. Conche moves it back in the net for Harry. Up the left side, Samuelson chasing it. He lets Yager handle it. Yager can't get through center ice. Now Samuelson dumps it down into the Minnesota zone, forcing Casey back in the net. Nice exchange, and the North Stars move it out toward Wilkinson. Up the right side to Gagne. Crisscrossing with Madonna and Prop. But Taglianetti is back to steal the puck and able to clear the zone. Gagne works it back to Jimmy Johnson up the middle. Prop relays it to the left side. And Here is Wilkinson playing it well wide to Tom Barrasso. Trache will take it out of the far corner. The pass across to Taglianetti. Up the middle. Nobody able to handle it. Pittsburgh had more success coming through the center ice zone in the first period. Been clogged up again in the second. Now they're into the Minnesota zone with a pass to Loney, and he couldn't get it on the stick. Harry Berezan worked it towards center ice. Penguins with it again. Back with a pass to Loney. Berezan able to kick it loose. Hero down the right side for Minnesota. Big slap shot off Barrasso and on into the seats.
Boy, Mark Tinordi threw his arms and his stick up in the air, and he's talking to Bureau right now. See, Bureau, I guess he's apologizing, but that was a clear 3-on-2. They had one guy going wide, and Tinordi was back on the play. Started from the other end, and there was no penalty called. That was Perry Berezan that took his man down. And away come the North Stars. There's Bureau. Bottom right of your screen is Tinordi. Does he want it? Real bad. Bottom of the screen now is another North Star, Doug Smale, going to the net. So it was a 3-on-2, and I think Mark Bureau saw that it was a 3-on-2. Tinordi let him know.
Barrasso turning the shot up into the seats. The clock stopped with 14 minutes, 48 seconds remaining in the second period. One of the things I've noted again tonight about this Pittsburgh team, they take a lot of dives, trying to attract the attention of not only the fans, the referee, trying to get a power play set up. Andy Van Hellemond has spotted each one of them. Well, most of them. Stevens moves into the face-off circle before the puck was dropped.
Well, he was sure calling a lot in the first period. Things have calmed down, and quite frankly, well, a lot of us get together between periods, the broadcasters from the different networks up here in the booth, and we were all surprised at how Andy Van Hellemond called the first period. He usually lets them play.
There's Francis with a drive over the crossbar after the deflection, and the puck ends up in the seats at the opposite end of the ice. Pittsburgh leading by a score of 2-1. Power play goal and a shorthanded goal for the Penguins. And a note on Ron Francis going back to the opening game in this series. We'll take the face-off here. The discussion has to do with where the face-off will take place. They've decided that the puck will be dropped outside the blue line.
You know, Jigs, Ron Francis was strong in game one, and I think one of the reasons he was strong was his kind of game. He doesn't rely on his skating really to excel. He's good in push and shove kind of situations. A lot of the Penguins need the neutral zone. Ron Francis is one of those guys that doesn't necessarily need the neutral zone to play his game.
Pittsburgh has dumped the puck in. Francis chasing it. Let Stevens handle it. He played it toward the open wing, and Bobby Smith recovers and clears the zone. Murphy trying to shovel it through center is deflected. Minnesota with a bouncing puck to contend with. Bellows, nice pass, and he can't get it to Gavin in time. Now Smith handling it again. Bobby Smith to the backhand, holding it as he cuts to the right. Dropped it back to Johnson. Johnson gets checked by Mullen, and the puck goes back to the net. North Stars storm in there. Murphy couldn't get to it in time. Now the Penguins have it and start out. Stevens taking it from Mullen, cuts to the left, shot it off Johnson, and that's out of play. With the score, the Penguins 2, the North Stars 1. They're going to face it off in the Minnesota zone this time.
Each year, the experts at Car and Driver look at over 100 cars, so you don't have to. From the current new cars, they just picked their 10 best. At the most, you'll probably only buy one of them. That's too bad, because 2 of the 10 best are Mercury's. Mercury Sable and Mercury Tracer LTS. All this in the quality of a Mercury.
Bob Johnson, the Penguins coach, has a son named Mark Johnson. He was originally drafted by the Penguins in 1977 and joined the Penguins after the 1980 Olympics, still playing in Italy.
And Elvis is at work again.
Jake, you know what we didn't mention about Elvis in the first period?
What's that?
The guy really has long blonde hair, and he looks more like Greg Allman than he does Elvis Presley.
Are you kidding?
Absolutely.
Your spies are everywhere.
Did you see the blonde roots?
As a matter of fact, I didn't. I'll have to check that up close. Loney, Yager, and Trache trying to get something going for the Penguins. Yager is dragged down. There's going to be a penalty to Duchesne. And that sets up the Pittsburgh power play that they've been looking for, a holding penalty, as we pause now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel America's exclusive Stanley Cup coverage.
Have you won? A swimming pool can be one of your home's most satisfying assets. Unfortunately, they don't last forever.
If it's out with the old and in with the new, call the Pool Doctor. He'll know what to do. Over the last 15 years, the Pool Doctor has become Long Island's pool and spa installation and service specialist. So if this happens to you, call the Pool Doctor, Long Island's answer to swimming pool problems.
It's a holding penalty on Gaetan Duchesne. Third power play for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
You have to wonder, Jakes, if the trend is changing for the North Stars in the playoffs. Here's the hold right there. Yager was going to do a spinorama move on him. But the Penguins went 1 for 2 on their power play in the first period. The North Stars 0 for 4. So the North Stars in this series now are 0 for 9 in special teams, especially with a shorthander that the Penguins scored. Really looked strong special teams. Modano scored a power play goal in this period, but the Penguins were able to equal the North Stars so far, and that didn't happen in the series yet.
Minnesota cruising right in, up the slot is Gavin. It's kicked aside, and another penalty call. This against Pittsburgh. So much for their power play.
Well, this will go down as an unsuccessful power play as well, because it has now ended 15 seconds into it. But Stu Gavin is one of the great anticipators. Just dumped it in. Oh, man, did they get a break right there? Off the linesman who was standing there and right back to him. You know, that's a pretty decent call and a pretty decent hook by Larry Murphy. If he doesn't hook Stu Gavin, he's cold turkey, and Tom Barrasso got a little bit of a shot away, and Barrasso was able to stop it, even though he ended up sitting down on the play. So that evens it up. We got 4 on 4. You know, this would be the second most likely scenario, situation to see Paul Coffey in. 4 on 4, more skating room, not as much contact. Obviously, the ideal situation to avoid contact is on the power play. We'll have to see. I think it'll depend on the complexion of the game. With the Penguins up 2-1, Paul Coffey won't see any time in a 4 on 4.
He was out there for the face-off in the first 15 seconds of the power play, but now with this penalty to Murphy, he's replaced with Samuelson. He's out on one side, Stanton on the other, and Lemieux handling the puck and sent Recchi over the Minnesota line. Recchi, a shot that's blocked at the defense. He's got it again, couldn't center it. Lemieux works it back toward the blue line. Here's Paul Stanton. Trying to center it, went off Recchi, and Bobby Smith has it. Smith works it up ahead, out of the zone is Modano, 2 men back. Modano right on the left wing boards. Stanton takes him off his skates. Samuelson couldn't get the puck out of the zone. Smith works it across, a drive from the blue line, loose in front. And tapped just wide of the net as Modano was right there. Recchi trying to tie up Smith. Modano in to help out. Stanton on him. Puck is dug off the boards by Bobby Smith. Recchi puts him right back into the boards. The strength of Smith showing here as he gets away from Recchi and centers it back. Norty on this left side shoots one that's blocked. Loose and shot just wide by Modano. Oh, Samuelson starts out. The pass is to Lemieux, up the middle, across the line. Lemieux dances around Chambers, can't finish the play. Chambers able to work it to the boards. It's held in by Samuelson to Lemieux, waiting back to the net. Canordi checks him. And Gagne for Minnesota, trying to work it out of the zone, gets some help, and Chambers comes over center ice. Chambers on into the Pittsburgh zone, taken down by Taglianetti, and Samuelson after the puck. He's taken to the deck by Gagne.
Are we sure this is Andy Van Hellemond still in the stripes? We need to get a close-up. I'm not convinced that Van Hellemond is still the referee out there.
A little different rule book, apparently, for period 2 as Kevin Stevens moves off the right side and shots one wide of the net. It's held in by Taglianetti, and now Minnesota has the man advantage. Murphy's penalty is 10 seconds to run as Canordi sends Gagne over the line. He got checked from behind. Up with it is Stevens. Stevens bumped by Bellows. Stevens able to get it across the line, and handling it here is Johnson. Now the teams are at 6 aside, and Gagne has the puck for Minnesota. A Gagne shot turned aside. Bellows without his helmet centers it rink wide. Roberts couldn't tie up the man, and Bellows is robbed by goaltender Tom Barrasso. Out of the corner is Propp. His shot is blocked to the defense. Roberts with it here. Tony Roberts, the former Minnesota North Star, right into the left side and is guided on into the Minnesota zone. Nice play. Casey spotting his man moving up. A pass to Dolan. He gets sandwiched, gets away from the check, and then has it knocked away by Yager. The 19-year-old turns on the forechecking job thrown up by the North Stars. Stanton guides one to Trottier. He's over center ice. Airy drives to the net. The pass there. Bob Airy can't pull the trigger as Casey knocked it away. The puck loose back to the net. Airy is taken down. Bobby Smith will go to the penalty box. An interference call will set up one more power play opportunity for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
For those of you looking for the big taste of Miller Genuine Draft, in a light beer, we proudly present Cold Filtered Miller Genuine Draft Light. Also available in 12-ounce sizes.
Bobby Smith takes an interference penalty almost halfway through the second period.
Okay, Andy is back. Boy, after all that he let go, he called an interference penalty on Bobby Smith just to the right of John Casey as Bob Airy was trying to get into the corner to get the puck. You can see Andy on the right of the screen, but boy, this is heated up. Man-to-man coverage all the way. Gagne and Ulf Samuelsson down deep in the Penguin zone. That was a tackle that Andy was watching that he let go. And there was also another big confrontation between Kevin Stevens and Brian Bellows. You don't think Kevin Stevens is big and strong, 217 pounds, 195 for Bellows, and Bellows bounced off him.
Andy Van Hellemond sending Smith off the ice. An interference call. Pittsburgh with Coffey and Cork on defense. Front. The start of this power play, it's Stevens, Yager, and Lemieux, and Coffey can't get them into the Minnesota zone. But rolling toward Barrasso. Another warm and very muggy day in Pittsburgh. That ice may be just a little soft.
You know, Jakes, Paul Coffey got hit up high on that last rush. Stu Gavin got it. He has gone off, and it looked like he was in pain going off.
Coffey replaced here by Murphy, a right-hand shot, playing the right side of the defense. Minnesota North Stars quick to get to a loose puck. And it's the story in game one. They beat Pittsburgh to the puck continually. Murphy brings it over center ice. Shot went in here that ends up in the seats. Coffey is coming back out on the ice.
I don't know if he was winded or not. I thought he got hit up high, but now he's back out. He had only put in about 25 seconds of the power, but here he comes with Stu Gavin. He didn't get hit up high. It looked like it jarred him a little bit, but I think he got Stu Gavin's elbow or his shoulder in the guts. Got the wind knocked out of him a little bit.
That face mask has to be a little cumbersome, too. You see him adjusting it every time he raises that hand.
Well, the trainer never came over to him here either. That's why I stopped worrying about him. Didn't look like he was in much trouble other than just trying to catch his breath.
Over on the left side. Murphy is on the right now. This is Murphy. Back to Coffey. Murphy, and the pass was behind him. Moving up is Duchesne. Eitan Duchesne ripped one wide of the net. Recchi takes it back into his own zone a little deeper. With 50 seconds remaining on the power play. Can't get through center ice. Mark Bureau puts it back to the net. Also cutting it off there will allow Murphy to handle it. His pass is to Recchi. Look towards Stevens. He likes to shoot it in. The North Stars quickly get back as the Penguins flood the zone, and Minnesota is able to move it out safely. Allen into Voracek. Barrasso played it through Murphy. It's loose here in the right wing boards. Recchi drops it back to Murphy with 18 seconds of the power play. Here's Mark Recchi. Pass blocked by Gavin. Recchi gets to it again. And it's to Lemieux. He can't do anything with it. The power play going nowhere for Pittsburgh. Coffey back to knock it away from Broughton, only to have Tinordi dump one in. And the penalty against Smith has expired with nothing thrown up by the Pittsburgh Penguins. No good scoring chances. And fail again to get through center ice. 4 North Stars over the line. Quick shot. Good save as Dahlquist got that away. Comes back to Tinordi for a shot that missed the net. Ends up in the far corner. There's Lemieux. He plays it away from the checking of Dolan. Minnesota tightens up again at center ice.
You know what's happening to the ice out there? This game is half gone now, and the ice looks bad. The puck seems to be rolling more than it is flat, and the North Stars really felt that was a significant factor in their power play now working in game one, but now the puck really seems to be alive out there.
There was a concert here last night. Frank Sinatra was in concert. His son, Frank Jr., the conductor, big orchestra, and a fine evening of entertainment. These fans being entertained here as Yager goes for a loose puck, gets into position, shoots, it's deflected and knocked down at the defense. Good play by Glenn. They come. Both teams trying to make some changes here. Will Samuelsson back into his own zone. He's given it to Stanton. And there's one through center and on into the Minnesota zone through the goal crease. So icing waved off. Brian Glynn plays it up the boards. Madano at center is checked there by Samuelson. He takes a big hit from Gagne. And the North Stars control the puck again. Dave Gagne with a feed off Jimmy Johnson's stick. Handled by Mullen. He's given it to his forward Loney, and then back to Mullen on the right wing boards. Knocked away from him. Brian Propp is able to clear it through center ice. And tips it back towards Samuelson. Minnesota has picked up the pace here. Penguins 2, North Stars 1 as Loney is put on his backside. Recovers the puck, however, moves it back to the net. That's Mullen turning, trying to get away from Glynn. Centers one, Loney with a shot. The rebound is under Casey, and play is called. Again, they jam the goal mouth. Casey with another fine save keeps the score. Penguins 2, Stars 1. A little less than 7 minutes to play in the period.
The time has finally come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. Now you control the flow of paint, so the Wagner power roller can cut jobs in half. Smoothly and evenly, it can cover areas twice as fast. And cleanup is a snap, so you can finish one job and do another. Get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
64, a sellout. John Casey has not been a busy goaltender in the second period. He's only faced 3 shots. A couple of the best scoring chances happened just before we left you. Sharp angle stuff, but the Penguins have to do that and hope that their people can get there for the rebound. You can see Ron Francis on the left digging in against Dave Gagne. He was there for the rebound, but typical of the North Stars, you see them in front. It's like trying to stick handle through a picket fence. They've got legs, they've got sticks. I mean, you can hardly ever get a clear rebound whack at a puck in front of Casey.
Who are these guys? Everybody was asking as the Stanley Cup final began. Well, we're not quite 2 periods into game 2. And some people have stood tall, but Casey right now is down on his knees. There's the puck. Takes a little breather. Bill pointed out he hasn't had much to do in this period.
You know, Jiggs, I think that the North Stars are one of the most underrated hitting teams in the NHL, and they have been through the playoffs. That is a huge hit. Jimmy Johnson laid it on Loney, and then as Loney was getting up, Mike Madano tried to finish him off. And Jimmy Johnson, to me, is one of those players, the more you look at him, and Troy Loney knows it because they played together here, the more you see of him, the more you like him. And that is not true of all players. Some players, the more you see of them, the more you see their deficiencies. Jimmy Johnson's the other way around. He's really grown on me. I like the way he plays.
Kid from New Hope, Minnesota. Went back home after that deal with the Penguins, as did Chris Dahlquist. Yeah, really added an awful lot to this Minnesota defense. New dimension, really. Hardy with the puck here. We talked the other night about how he has grown in stature, but he just gave it away, and there's Harry with a shot that's deflected. Put right in front by Francis. Mullen couldn't control it, and it's brought back by Duchesne. Long shot is off the boards and on into the Pittsburgh end of the ice. This is Bob Harry. Around to Mullen. He got checked by Tenorti, but now Harry moves it up ahead. Over the line with it is Francis. Ron Francis around the check. Dropped it back for Pack. Jim Pack left it. Mullen with a shot that's blocked in front of the net. North Stars trying to move it out. It's intercepted. Joey Mullen makes the pass in front. Francis can't tip it to the defense. Mullen unable to recover, and Gaetan Duchesne guides it down the boards and on into the Pittsburgh zone. Icing waved off as Taglianetti goes back.
More typical North Stars defending. Penguins all over them. How many shots did they get on John Casey?
Tip. And as you pointed out, few shots, 4 now in this period. Minnesota with the only goal, that was on the power play to establish a new Stanley Cup playoff record of 33 power play goals. We still have at least 2, 3, 4 games remaining, or 5 in this series. Recchi has dumped the puck in, and the North Stars clear it out. This will go through the goal mouth. Harry Murphy doesn't get it out of the zone. It's centered in front. Bureau can't make the play in time for Berezan to finish it. Here's Lemieux starting out. A penalty back to the play as Recchi was knocked down. Lemieux dances in and scores!
really don't need a game plan when you've got a guy like Mario Lemieux. The game plan helps. But these people know, they've seen it before. You don't diagram these plays on a chalkboard. There was a penalty that was going to be called. It will be wiped out. But this is solo coast to coast from Lemieux. 1-on-2. Wilkinson at least, and Chambers back, and Mario Lemieux made it look much easier than it is. He decided to isolate Chambers. He went outside, back to the inside by him, and there is John Casey committing again. You would have thought he would have learned in game one because he tried to poke check Lemieux on a breakaway and missed him. And later, Chico Resch took the heat. He said, maybe you should go at Lemieux, and he tried it and didn't work in game one, didn't work in game two either. 3-1 Penguins.
Lemieux's 13th goal in the playoffs. Was that pretty to watch? You want it? Come get it. They did. He took it away from him. Tucked it by Casey. They're back in that Minnesota zone. This is Jogger. He has shot the puck wide of the net. Bobby Smith works it up ahead to Ward Dolan, and Samuelson moved over on him. Ryan Trottier back for Pittsburgh. Trottier tried to move around Dolan, was able to get it to Loney, to Jogger, back to Loney at the top of the circle. He shot it wide. Trottier takes it off the board, sets up Stanton for a rip. That's tipped and cleared aside by Casey. Now Samuelson with a shot that didn't get through. Out comes Smith. As Bellows trailing. Smith across the line, was knocked away from him, recovers offside, and then he is hit by Trottier. The two of them talk it over, close range. Tempers are right on the edge in Pittsburgh.
Now is a great time to get a Mazda 626, the best-selling car in Mazda history. Get a 626 LX now and save big on a Mazda value pack. Plus, factory-to-dealer incentives can save you hundreds more. It's a great deal, but great deals don't last forever. Right time, right car, right deal.
At your local Mazda dealer now.
With Vice President and General Counsel of the Penguins, Mr. Paul Martha. 24 years. Is this the best it's ever been?
Oh, by far, John. Yeah, it's great. It's really great.
Now, with the building full every night, you've got to look ahead. You've got some young players that are stars looking ahead to big contracts. How do you feel?
We have some tough negotiations coming up in the offseason. There's no question about it. But we're not thinking about that now. Now we're just enjoying being in the finals of Stanley Cup playoffs.
Congratulations. Go back and enjoy it.
Thanks a lot.
They love the team that they put together here. Ariello has everybody up and cheering.
Solo effort by Lemieux made it 3-1. Boy, what an outstanding move. And you remember in game one, if you saw it, that Lemieux came in, and when Casey committed, he went to the forehand. The man can go inside, outside, over, under. It doesn't matter. You can't commit first and hope to get Mario Lemieux. You can't.
Each team with a goal here in the second period. Penguins lead it. Score of 3-1. Marty Roberts moves it up ahead. Stevens got pushed toward the boards. Puck loose back of that Minnesota goal. The Penguins move in. Marty reacted as if he expected an icing call. None was made, and the puck is held here by Murphy. Murphy a drive. Pad saves a rebound. Casey stops. It's in the net.
People know the Penguins have just about blown this one wide open. First, a finesse goal by Lemieux made it 3-1, and now a blocking and jamming special right in front. Looks like Kevin Stevens got a piece of it. Joe Mullen was there as well. Big shot came from the point. Casey left the rebound, and for once, the North Stars don't have them outnumbered. The Penguins had time. Yeah, Kevin Stevens looks like he's the man. So after a finesse goal, a blue-collar goal, 4-1 Penguins now, and they're on the verge of really putting the North Stars to sleep.
Second goal in this game, 15 now in the playoffs for Kevin Stevens. Minnesota trails by a score of 4-1. Mullen and Murphy assisted at that goal. And Jogger, being chased deeper, gets sandwiched between a couple of North Stars, but still able to move the puck. And Trottier has given it to Jimmy Pack. Pack Nice pass. Airy back to Pack in deep. Back to the net. He comes out in front. Shoots. He scores! Waved off. The net is off. The puck is over in the far corner. There is no goal. Yager being tested here by this Minnesota team. Taking the medal of the youngster.
Andy Van Hellemond looked as if he waved it off pretty quickly. It was a wraparound attempt by Jim Pack. Nice play by Airy. He pulled up on the shot, gave it to Pack, but he couldn't control. As he comes around the net, you can see that there's traffic in front. Andy Van Hellemond should come into the picture as the play actually went through off the post. There's Andy at the top left. Yeah, it hit the far post, came out to the goal line, but not over, it looked like. And Andy Van Hellemond saw the whole thing. Off the post. Yeah. Puck off the post, net off its little moorings. No goal.
Jimmy Pack is deprived of having his name in the Stanley Cup record book, playing his first game of this series. Kevin Stevens, what a story. I mean, it's 13 goals prior to tonight, Bill. 10 had either tied the game or put the Penguins up by 1, and 3 of those have been game winners. He's got 2 here tonight. He got the goal that made it 2-0, and he got the goal that has made it 4-1.
Now, if he can just learn to score when it counts.
Yeah.
Well, the great athletes, they will not stay down 2 consecutive games at this stage of any sports season. Great ones won't even stay down 2 consecutive games during the regular season. Recchi, Lemieux, and Stevens have all been outstanding.
Looking at Paul Coffey has the helmet off with a lead of 4-1, and he was used exclusively on power plays tonight. I think he may have the rest of the night off unless Minnesota comes roaring back here. Pache on the draw, couldn't drag it around Smith this time, and out comes Brian Bellows. Bellows down the left side of the ice, trailing the play was Dolan as he centered one. It's cleared aside. Bob Airy moves it up ahead to Trache. Pass on Yager's stick. The big kid comes in, gets checked. Goes right after the loose puck. Checked once more. Yager wrapped up here with Dolan. As they take it to the boards and freeze it there, play is called. Airy, a little bit of a scuffle. He goes to the deck. And Brian Glynn, after knocking him down, will get a seat in the penalty box. Minnesota North Stars run into a needless penalty late in the second period.
This bench gets a professional finish with Krylon spray paint. No runs, no drips, no errors. Dries to the touch in minutes. The other brand's still tacky.
Wow! What a game!
Good game, Mr. Uecker.
Hey, she's a lot tougher than she looks.
For a fast, smooth, professional finish, get Krylon.
This is not what you want in a shave. Now you've got the edge. With 6 rich lubricants for less irritation. You've got the edge.
Very intriguing personality, this John Casey, the Minnesota North Stars goaltender, profiled during our second intermission. Don't forget, Minnesota goes home. That's where they've won 7 games straight during these playoffs. 8 o'clock, Game 3. That's 8 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday night.
The power play about to unfold as Brian Glynn has taken a roughing penalty. Set off the ice at 17:27. A swipe at Bob Airy. Bob Johnson takes that power play unit out.
After the pileup along the boards involving Sean Chambers, Airy and Glynn stood not nose to nose because Airy's a lot shorter and Brian Glynn just up with the straight left. Must have hit him pretty hard. I thought that Airy would get up as soon as the penalty was called, but he stayed down for quite a while, and now you can see he's having one of his eyes checked. Perhaps he's a contact lens wearer, and he's lost one. Skip Thayer is looking him over, trying to check out the problem.
Fifth power play of the night for the Penguins. And 1 power play goal, that by Stevens toward the end of the opening period. There's Murphy with a shot, deflected and cleared aside. Casey down, just now back on his skates. The North Stars have cleared at the length of the ice. Coming back is Paul Coffey. There's the answer to our question, is whether he would play anymore. His team up by a score of 4-1. Recchi is over the line. Mark Recchi taken to the corner by Dahlquist. They're able to move the puck toward Murphy. Murphy back to Lemieux, covering the right point. Mario Lemieux sets up Paul Coffey. Lets the shot go. That hit Dahlquist. First Dahlquist gets to it, flips it up high and out of the zone. Chasing it is Murphy. Coffey comes back into his own zone to join the defenseman Larry Murphy. Pass to Lemieux, off Francis. Here's Coffey in deep. The puck rolling on him. He centers. Murphy's shot is grabbed and held by Casey.
It makes a lot of sense to have Paul Coffey out there. I mean, if he's not so fragile that he can't suit up for this hockey game, he's got to be good enough for power play still. And, you know, if the Penguins can really pile up some power play numbers here, they'll get their rhythm back. Here's the chance with Coffey digging in. You know, the puck has been bouncing like crazy. Pointed out again in this period. Finally, Coffey got it settled down, and Larry Murphy was able to one-time it. But they've been without Coffey for 10 games, and the power play has been without rhythm for that long. So Paul Coffey back in there, you know that the Penguins need rhythm on their power play. They need success, and if they can get some, I think they'll probably be able to carry it through the next game, potentially the next game, and so on. That's what this is all about.
Coffey and Lemieux. Mario agreed with whatever it was Paul had said.
Probably said, I'm going to go out there and score one. Sounds good to me, Paul.
That's all right. Do it. Coffey covering the right side of the defense. Bill Bourque is on the opposite side as Francis gets checked here on the boards, able to propel the puck toward Mullen. Around the boards, Bill Bourque will hold it. Look toward Coffey. Duchesne had taken that away. Now he gets it across to Coffey. Snaps one that's blocked by Johnson, and Coffey got belted. Able to hold the puck in, but turned it over. Up comes Gaetan Duchesne. Shoots from the blue line. That's snared and dropped off. Rosso forced to play it to Mullen. Mullen worked it through Yager onto the stick of Coffey. Sets up Yager, then in deep to Bourque. Pulling it around to Norty. Bill Bourque with 23 seconds left in the power play is forced outside the blue line. Coffey taking it from Bourque is back in the Pittsburgh zone here. Able to play it away from Groton. Through to Norty and down into the Minnesota zone it goes. Dahlquist is back. And play is called with 7 seconds left in Glenn's roughing penalty. And we're late in period number 2 at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh.
Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch. That's why I love Nestle Crunch Crunches.
This is not what you want in a shave. Now you've got the edge. With 6 rich lubricants for less irritation, you've got the edge.
The DeBartolo family has run this hockey team since 1978. They're waiting to be rewarded. You see Ed Sr. is here tonight. And a few words. He talks to Bob Johnson on a daily basis for about 20 seconds.
But they've never spent that much time with the players in the locker room, and I think a lot of players resent that. They see the DeBartolo family involved with the 49ers, and they kind of feel like the forgotten kids in the sports family.
His team is up by a score of 4-1. Time running out in the second period. Much happier situation than the opening game of this series. But the scenario is that Pittsburgh has won game 2 of each of the previous series, and now we've got a whistle as Samuelson was belted and knocked down, and there'll be another roughing penalty against the Minnesota North Stars. Loney over to bump Wilkinson, and Bob Gainey can't be a happy coach.
Well, Bob Gainey will have that steep hill real greasy in the third period because his guys have apparently forgotten about discipline just because they're down 4-1. Brian Glynn took one. Now Neil Wilkinson is taking a roughing penalty. They only got 2 seconds to go in this period, so you know what'll happen. A power play. Right in the background, you can see up along the boards one of the Penguins falling down. What's that, Olfie?
It was Olf.
But this means that the Penguins will start the third period with just about a full 2-minute power play, and down 4-1 to no-no. Time and a place for everything.
And Paul Coffey is out on the ice with only 2 seconds left in the period. He's going to back in. Now go over and say something to Samuelson before the puck is dropped. Boy, Loney on the draw with Bureau. They shove at one another, and Bureau comes up punching at Loney.
You know why? Because Loney didn't even go for the puck. He chopped at Bureau's legs as soon as the puck was dropped. And now I know why Loney and Trottier switched positions on the faceoff. Now we've got Tenorti and Loney. But Loney actually motioned Trottier out of the face-off circle and vice versa and said, let me in there. Then he chopped Mark Bureau.
It ends up being a pair of 24s, Loney and Tinordi.
Nobody can get back far enough to throw a punch. We're talking about a couple of big men. Loney 6'3", Tinordi 6'4". Oh boy, Tinordi got a few in there.
And the linesmen, Collins and Brossiker, get them separated. Look at Troy Loney at the end of this, at the end of the second period.
Here's the face-off after Loney has taken over from Brian Trottier. Watch what he does there. He just chopped down on Mark Bureau's right skate, and then after the fact, Bureau just went nuts on him.
They got Bureau out of there, and it ended up being Tinordi and Loney. So some penalties at the end of the second period. And again, Mario has an exchange with the referee, but the score, the Penguins 4, the North Stars 1, and we pause now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel America's exclusive Stanley Cup coverage.
The 1991 four-door Chevy S10 Blazer. Engineered with standard four-wheel anti-lock brakes. Open one up and see why nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America.
Evil and passion. The legend as it's never been told before. Kevin Costner is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, June 14th at a theater near you.
Hello?
Hi, honey. I just checked in.
How was the flight?
Bad food, good movie.
I miss you.
I miss you, too.
I feel so alone when you're not here.
Did you lock all the doors and turn on the ADT system?
Yep.
The last thing a burglar wants to see. ADT helps protect your home and family 24 hours a day, every day of the year by linking your home to an ADT customer service center. Call 1-800-ADT-INFO. For a small monthly fee and one-time installation charge, our SafeWatch system can help protect your home against break-ins, fire, and medical emergencies. Help protect your home. Help protect your peace of mind. Call 1-800-ADT-INFO.
I'll see you at home tomorrow night, then. I love you both.
We love you, too. We'll be here.
ADT, we're home even when you're not.
ADT SafeWatch. Call this number now. Only $395 installation and $19.95 monthly monitoring fee. ADT, we're home even when you're not.
Big three-goal lead for the Pittsburgh Penguins at the end of two periods by a score of 4-1. Let's go back and review. Period one, the special team showed up big time for Pittsburgh. Bob Area shorthanded goal at 14:26. In the last 50 seconds, it was Kevin Stevens on the power play. Too many men on the ice against Pittsburgh at the end of the period, and Minnesota got its lone goal of the night on that resulting power play. Mike Modano scored it. Then Mario Lemieux with the move of the night. 15:04. He stashed one in after beating the defense. Kevin Stevens also scored 26 shots for Pittsburgh, 24 for the Minnesota North Stars, and the Penguins ahead by a count of 4-1. I think one of the most intriguing personalities in all of the Stanley Cup playoffs is a guy who'd rather fish and camp and be away from the bright lights of all the big cities. His name is John Casey, seen in conversation with John Davidson.
You seem to be very aggressive on the ice in the way you play the game, yet you sit here and you're very calm and relaxed. Which is your true personality?
That's hard to say. I am probably a different person on the ice than off the ice. More competitive, more aggressive, more physical, and that's just part of the game. I think the game is a physical game. It is an aggressive game, and to be good at it, you have to be that way.
Now, there's a lot of attention here in the finals, and it's starting to be focused on yourself. Are you enjoying that, or would you rather stay away from it? Or what's your feeling?
I've always really tried to stay away from the publicity and the coverage, and tried to push it off on the other players in the team. And you know, there are some players that enjoy that sort of thing and maybe even thrive on it, but I'm not one of them, and I would rather stay away from it.
Tell us about your relationship with Glenn Resch.
He's been talking to me throughout it all, especially when things weren't going well. He eased the struggle or the pain a bit and really kept me going and tried to keep me on the top of my game. He understands, he's been there, he's experienced what playing goalie in the National Hockey League is like, and you know, you can relate to him a lot better than a person that maybe has never played NHL hockey or that has never played goalie in the NHL.
You've had a successful career to this point. You're in the finals. What as a goaltender can you improve on?
Well, I learned some things about each arena. In this arena here in Pittsburgh, I learned that if it's up on the glass, I don't want to go back and try to stop it again. I'll let it go and stay in my crease. In Minnesota, the rink is pretty square, and you don't have to worry about the puck bouncing out in front or bouncing around like it did here. And you know, just little things. You're always learning. I think goaltending is a lot of experience and just learning as you go along.
If you win the cup, are there any more dreams?
Well, I guess once you win one, then you go on from there and try to win another. You can't ever be satisfied with anything that you do or accomplish. You really have to keep setting goals, more goals for yourself, and try to achieve them.
North Stars goalie John Casey, 22 saves in 2 periods. Here came a pair. Ron Francis and Troy Loney were stopped. Lemieux and Stevens did score in that period. And the guys from the Steel City have a big black and gold lead at the end of 2 by a score of 4-1.
Okay, we know what we're eating. Why don't you pick the wine?
What do you feel like, red or white?
Surprise me.
Today's cooking is lighter, fresher, full of natural, delicate flavors. Like today's wine.
White Zinfandel. Gallo.
So how'd I do?
I'd say perfect, but I'd never hear the end of it.
Ernest and Julio Gallo invite you to try a surprising White Zinfandel. It will change the way you think about Gallo.
The adventure of the season is about to begin. This summer, catch the Hawk.
That's gotta hurt.
Bruce Willis, Danny Aiello, Andy McDowell, Hudson Hawk.
This is not what you think. Well, maybe it is.
Rated R. Starts Friday, May 24th at a theater near you.
Over the past 5 years, more people switched to Glidden than any other paint. Now, if that isn't the ultimate test of quality, we don't know what is. Glidden, a better way to paint. Maybe the reason more people switched to Glidden than any other paint in the last 5 years is because we've got the color they're looking for. Glidden, a better way to paint.
We asked these experts on summer and Dad to help introduce the new Master Values program. Now get 10 to 25% off summer stuff only with MasterCard. From getaway gear and luggage at Kmart, to home decorating needs at Color Tile, to tapes and CDs at Camelot Music, and more. Then watch the savings pile up. Look for Master Values only from MasterCard at these and other fine stores. And master the moment.
They ate the same lunch, got the same heartburn, but his antacid is very different. His Tums has calcium. Most antacids don't. Regular Rolaids uses an aluminum salt. This uses aluminum and magnesium. So does this. Of all these, only Tums helps wipe out heartburn and gives you calcium you need every day.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
Calcium-rich Tums. That's the one you want.
So often we've talked about the team that gets to 4 first. When the Penguins do it in these playoffs, they have a record of 10 wins and just 1 loss. Here's John Davidson.
I'm with assistant coach Barry Smith of the Penguins. Coach, what's the single best adjustments you've made from game 1 for this one?
Well, the difference is we're trying to go to the nets, and we're trying to cause a lot of play around Casey, so he can't come out and get his angles and play as well as he does. We're just trying to get the puck through and put the rebounds in. I think the boys have done a good job in that. And the power play was good for 1 goal, and I think the penalty kill has been pretty good. So our special teams and our 5-on-5 work, we want to get the puck in deep, we want to get it at the goal.
Now, with a comfortable lead, what will you tell your players going into the third?
Comfortable. I don't know what comfortable is. We just want to play our game. We don't want to sit back. We want to play aggressive. We want to take the puck to them. We want to continue what we're doing. We don't want to play off them.
Thanks, Coach. By the way, I talked to Paul Coffey as he stepped off the ice. I said, how do you feel? He said, how do I look? I think it looks pretty good.
Splendid he does look, and so do these Pittsburgh Penguins. The chants of Elvis, Elvis, Elvis will change to Norm as the teams go to the Met Sports Center in Bloomington. Game 3 of this series coming up Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Let's pause now for this regional break. You're watching the Stanley Cup Championships on Sports Channel America.
The magnificent Yankee, the great number 7. Number 7, Mickey Mantle.
Yes, it's Mickey Mantle. In an exciting new video, the Mick tells you his own story, his career, his riotous escapades on and off the field, and much, much more. Meet a Mickey Mantle few fans have ever known. Learn the real story behind the infamous Copacabana incident. Feel the excitement of the record-breaking home run race with Roger Maris. Recapture the drama of Don Larsen's perfect game. Watch Casey Stengel tie a Senate subcommittee in knots.
He was really putting the Stinglese to him that day.
Hear the hilarious story of how Billy Martin shot a cow.
Billy was always a great one for jokes.
Meet Ford, Vera, and the great Joe DiMaggio. See some of the longest home runs ever hit. It's all here on one great video, acclaimed by critics everywhere. Use your credit card and call toll-free to order Mickey Mantle. The American dream comes to life. Just $19.95 plus $3.50 shipping.
Order now by calling 1-800-255-8400.
Call now to order Warren Miller's Extreme Skiing. Get the most incredible ski action video, awesome cliff jumps, world-class snowboarding, outrageous stunts. Warren Miller's Extreme Skiing. Only $19.95. Call now to order Warren Miller's Extreme Skiing. Give the ultimate gift. Warren Miller's Extreme Skiing.
1-800-547-7100. 1-800-547-7100.
For any reason you need a car, call your local Thrifty Car Rental. Need more room to roam? Call Thrifty. Special car for a special day? Call Thrifty. Car in the shop and you need a replacement? Call Thrifty. Now top end prices are down on Thrifty convertibles in Tampa, Florida. Airbag equipped. Reserve one now, convertible or any car, and save a lot of money. Tampa Thrifty Car Rental, because it's your money.
Pittsburgh Penguins are leading the Minnesota North Stars. We're between periods 2 and 3. The score of the game is 4-1. And if you've just arrived in the living room and whoever's watching has told you, boy, you should have seen the goal Lemieux scored, you're going to get to see it again one more time.
Tell you, Mike, it started with great defense, and from that play defensively, it led to the best player in the series scoring a goal. Here we see what we call a 3-on-3. 3 defensive players, 3 offensive players, and as we roll it here, you'll see the Penguins come back, pick their men up nicely, Barrasso with a save, but all 5 men are back, Mike, and that's the key to setting up defense. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's another player that was circling back in. So you're seeing all the players back. The only one you don't see is the man that's going to score. Bork took a hit to make the pass, and there goes Mario. Now he picks up speed with the puck. He's moving it on 2 defensemen. If we stop it, we call him the best player in the series because he's by himself, and there's 2 North Stars there, there's another one there. Basically, you can call it a 1-on-3. He'll take Chambers, beat him. Now, if you see him move in on the goaltender, you stop it there. Lemieux's got the puck in front of him. That means to a goaltender that he's going to deke. And if you see the goal stick, it's already extended by the goaltender. Lemieux reads that, the extension of the goal stick, watch the deke. Mike, if he had the puck back beside him, he could either deke or shoot. When a shooter has the puck in front of him, that means he's only got one play, and that's to make the deke. Casey gambled for the second time on breakaways in this series with Lemieux, and he's lost twice.
It's fun to watch, isn't it, if you're not the goaltender?
Right.
You never played against him, did you?
Thank goodness.
That was the third goal. Minnesota has 4 of them tonight, or rather, Pittsburgh has 4 of them tonight. They lead these Minnesota North Stars between periods 2 and 3 by a score of 4-1.
Today, a guy losing his hair can choose between being the man he wants to be
We look great with hair. Do something to save it.
and the man he could become.
Can't you accept nature like everyone else?
Doctors have hair loss treatment programs that are proven to work, and the sooner you see a doctor, the better.
We don't want nature. We want hair.
When you've considered the arguments,
We might look great bald.
and you decide you want hair, there's only one thing to do. See your doctor, or call this number for more information.
Okay, kids, I guess that wraps up logarithms. Moving right along now to the Pythagorean theorem. Simple, simple, simple. This states that the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the opposite two sides, as in a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Got that? Great. Next, advanced calculus.
At the Prudential, we believe some things can't be explained with a lot of fancy talk. So when it comes to homeowners insurance,
Let's go over your property coverage again.
we won't let you get it until you've got it. Your piece of the rock.
It was a simpler time. A time of hope and faith in the future. Blue jeans and white t-shirts were in. And people fell in love with the Miata. A ragtop, a two-seater, a true roadster. Everyone seemed to be feeling pretty good. The Mazda Miata. It not only gives you a glimpse of the 90s, it takes you back as well.
It's the Coors Light Rock and Roll Summer. Yes, the beer that won't fill you up. We'll be dancing its can off all summer long. Just visit the display and look for the specially marked cans, and you could instantly win Carver's Ultimate Stereo System, Boss stereo phones, 10 and portable CD players, and cassettes from Capitol Records. We know it's only Coors Light Rock and Roll Summer, but we like it.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt. Why Sports Cream? Massaging Sports Cream In brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why Sports Cream? Because it works.
Over 28 million adults get athlete's foot.
I'm Jim Bird. I had athlete's foot until I used NP27. It has an ingredient recommended by doctors.
Look, NP27 stops the burning, itching of athlete's foot fast.
NP27. Nothing's a better cure for athlete's foot.
Welcome back to the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. Bob Clark, general manager of the Minnesota North Stars, looking on and joining us in the broadcast booth. That's Mr. Baum. That's Michael Keaton, who has a new movie out called One Good Cop. And one good broadcaster, too, we're told. Welcome.
I'm going to do color here, I think, right? You're going to do color.
I'll leave. Play-by-play, I think.
I'll leave.
Whatever you want to do, Michael.
I'll do play-by-play.
Now, just tell me something. You're not one of these guys that just showed up for the finals. Tell me you've been to Penguins games earlier this season.
I got to go now because, no, actually this season, I'll be honest with you, I didn't get a chance to come in games. In L.A. I see them, and I usually get to see one during the season when I come back, but this is my first game this year.
How are you liking it?
Oh, man, that shot by Lemieux is as good as, you see in this game, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something we have mentioned. You can't diagram that on the chalkboard. That's not part of the game plan. That's just him by himself.
I think it took the wind out of these guys, too, there for a second, Minnesota, who is a great team, by the way.
Must have been a pretty inspirational chat you had with the team this morning, too, Mike.
Absolutely.
In the dressing room.
3,000 miles I came to just get them a victory. I just told them, don't make me come back and get them another.
You know what happens now? They won't let you leave.
That's right. I got to stay now. I got to wear Johnson's tie, I think.
Michael, thanks for dropping by.
Thank you.
Good luck with One Good Cop. We'll look forward to it. Pittsburgh native out at the game here tonight. As he said, he sees a lot of this team on the road, and this team is up by a score of 4-1. Stevens getting the puck into the Minnesota zone is checked there, and Gaetan Duchesne comes down the left side. Wrap around, Berezan can't get it away from Coffey. 1 minute remaining now in a Pittsburgh power play. But they're hemmed in, and Duchesne goes for a loose puck. Trying to center that one off Murphy. Berezan and Stevens go shoulder to shoulder, and up with it is Lemieux. 3-on-2. Lemieux down the right side. Recchi drives to the net. Coffey back to Lemieux, and he shot it wide. Paul Coffey gets bumped on the boards. Kicks the puck toward Recchi to Lemieux, and it jumped over his stick. Berezan trying to slap it out of there. It's held in by Yager, and now brought out. North Stars get to center. Murphy is giving it to Coffey. His cross-ice pass toward Yager was tipped. Yager held it nicely, then got checked at the last second, and up with it is Gavin. Lou Gavin worked right back on him, and that gave Murphy a chance to play it. It's outside the zone, but Chambers controls it now. 17 seconds remaining in the Pittsburgh power play. The offsetting penalties at the end of that second period does not affect the manpower situation on the ice. And Paul Coffey has dumped it in wide. Casey handling it here for Dahlquist, and he'll slap it the length of the ice. That kills off the penalty time, so the teams are at 6 aside. Pittsburgh leads by a score of 4-1. Ryan Glynn puts the puck out of play at the penalty box. The clock stopped here. And both teams are going to make some player changes.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. By Coors Light, the one that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now. And by Sports Cream. Why Sports Cream? Because it works.
Paul Coffey is again catching his breath. He took one up high, this time right in the side of the jaw from Gaetan Duchesne. Watch Duchesne give him a swat here, right there. Rubbed the elbow right up against Coffey's face to make sure that he tested it. Yeah, this is the Stanley Cup Finals. Paul Coffey has to be careful. They're going to try for him when they can.
Coffey's jaw broken. Struck by a shot off the stick of Dmitry Kristich in that series with Washington. Then he got an elbow thanks to Hunter, and that hurt a little more. 10 games in the playoffs had gone by before Coffey got back into the lineup. Yager able to move the puck into the Minnesota zone. That went up in front, gets to it again to the backhand, can't shoot it. Trottier does, hit the post. The net is off, no goal. It was stuffed in by Erie, but the goal will be disallowed.
Boy, this is one of the types of plays that I think Andy Van Hellemond has license to allow. The net was definitely off, but it really hadn't been displaced that much. But I guess it was just off a little too long for Andy's liking. He has signaled it off. After a super individual effort by Yager here to get in front, Brian Trottier will pick up the puck after it slid off Yager's stick. His backhand shot hits the side of the net, either that or the defenseman that was standing there, and Bob Erie thought he had himself. Bob Erie had an easy goal. No way, you might not be able to see it from that angle, but the net is actually off of its little magnets at that point. Bob Erie wasn't celebrating that much. I think he sensed that it was going to be waved off. Oh, look at it. That's a good save by Brian Glynn. Yeah, it's off right now, long before it ended up on Bob Erie's stick. What do you mean, no goal?
Andy Van Hellemond had indicated that the face-off will come outside the blue line. Now that's being discussed. And the officials wait to drop the puck. Here's it will be outside the Minnesota zone. And Erie skates back toward the Penguin bench.
Bob Erie is one of the Penguins players that played in 1984-85 season with John Casey. We mentioned that in the first period. Never mentioned who the players were. Troy Loney also was there with John Casey. Phil Bourque was the other one. So 3 of these Penguins know all about John Casey. John Casey won the Best Goaltender Award in the American League that year with the Baltimore Skipcats, and those 3 guys were there on the same team.
Bob Johnson, who coaches this Pittsburgh team, tried to recruit him out of high school to go to Wisconsin. Did not, and Gagne moves in at the other end of the ice, only to have the play broken up by Stanton. Held in by the North Stars. They wrap it around behind the net. Barrasso tips it toward the corner. Samuelson failed to clear it out. Duchesne can't get it back to the point man as Propp moves over. Casey smartly plays it up through center ice. That's Ryan Propp. With Gagne coming back on the play, and the North Stars give it away. Recchi sets up Jim Pack. Mario Lemieux, 3 North Stars back. Lemieux shoots, Casey the save, and the rebound is cleared away. Up with it here, Madonna with a pass to Propp. Over the line, Gagne drives to the net. Propp can't get the puck to him. Penguins take over again. This is Recchi, his team up by a score of 4-1. He's given it to Taglianetti. Now to Stevens. 3 North Stars stretched out at the blue line, forcing them to dump it in, and Taglianetti goes in after it. He gets checked by Chambers. Turning here is Bobby Smith. That led to Madonna on right wing. Smith got bumped by Mullen, and that puts the play offside on the 2-line pass. We still have 16 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the third period, game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final.
This bench gets a professional finish with Krylon spray paint. No runs, no drips, no errors. Dries to the touch in minutes. The other brand's still tacky. Wow! What a game.
Good game, Mr. Euchre.
He's a lot tougher than he looks. For a fast, smooth, professional finish, get Krylon.
Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch. That's why I love Nestle Crunch Crunches.
Craig Patrick, before game one, was shaking his head at the anthem singer. Everybody in the press box was. He's not shaking his head now. His team has a 4-1 lead.
And the man on the left corner of your picture there, Rick Kehoe, one of the assistant coaches, projected to have been Mario Lemieux's right winger when they drafted him in '84. Rick went out with an injury, and a lot of guys over the years got to play with Mario.
Probably more than Mario would have liked. They just couldn't find anybody here to play with him regularly.
North Stars had a 2-on-1 set up deep in the Pittsburgh zone and couldn't finish it off. Kevin Stevens has cleared it towards center. Murphy gets to it now. The pass is to Mullen. Joey Mullen drops it to Kevin Stevens. Off right wing. Shot one high and wide of Casey. It's held by Murphy. In around the boards to Stevens. Couldn't get a stick on it. Mullen goes after a loose puck. Bellows is getting up slowly. He had been knocked down. Now is limping. Can't get back to the bench, and Casey can't stop the puck either to get a face-off. He had it momentarily, but could not hold it. North Stars come through center ice. Jimmy Johnson trying to dump it in. That was blocked. Bellows has gotten to the bench. Meantime, the North Stars are trying to come out of the zone again. Jimmy Johnson. Through center. And dumped on into the zone by the other defenseman, Glynn. Barrasso plays it up to the right side. Mullen can't jab it through Broughton. He drops it back to Dahlquist, and the long outlet ends up deep in the Pittsburgh zone. That'll be an icing call against Minnesota, who played just over 5 minutes of the third period. And the Pittsburgh Penguins have themselves a 4-1 lead.
There was only one woman in Danny Muldoon's life. Until he met Teresa Luna.
Where do you live?
Here.
With the Stiffs?
Now, love is in the air, and mother is in between.
Where are her breasts?
What?
You're built like a 13-year-old boy.
From John Hughes and Chris Columbus comes a comedy for anyone who's ever had a mother. Only the Lonely, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, May 24th at theaters everywhere.
For the second time in this hockey game, Brian Bellows had to limp off the ice in a lot of pain. Right in front of John Casey, he was locked up with Ron Francis. Went down, looked like he may have twisted his knee. Didn't look like he was being hit on the way down, but he crumbled up and just seemed unable to get up. He finally made it up instead of staying down, but he wasn't of any use to anybody.
Here's the youngster, Yager, trying to get Pittsburgh up by 4. Didn't finish the play. Now the North Stars wheel it down into the zone. A delayed penalty call coming. It'll be against the Minnesota North Stars once they control the puck. Gagne does here, and referee Andy Van Helleman blows the whistle. Still 14.5 minutes to go in Game 2. We pause now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel America's exclusive Stanley Cup coverage.
He's controversial.
We'll find out how good the Mets are once they lose a couple of games on the road.
He's very direct.
Fans vote for their favorite player instead of the guy who's having the best year.
He's unique.
I was upset. That's awful baseball.
He's crazy about New York City.
The Queensboro Bridge, blow it up.
He's back. Mad Dog Live premieres Monday, June 3rd, exclusively on Sports Channel.
Penalty is on Mike Modano for high sticking. Got the stick up pretty good on Olsby.
He saw Samuelson coming for him, and watch what he does here. Bingo, right up onto the Robo helmet, knocked him off. Took a while after the play had stopped to get things calmed down because Olsby kept coming back to the bench to retrieve his helmet, and the North Stars players were taunting him all the way.
The Shark Fins go to work as the Pittsburgh Penguins put the power play out on the ice. Up by a score of 4-1. Coffey is out there with Murphy as the point man. Mullen will play the left side. Yager the right with Francis in the middle. It'll be Broughton on the draw here, won by the North Stars. And the Penguins get a chance to come out. Number 77, Paul Coffey, is giving it to Yager. Yager with a reach similar to Lemieux. Right side to Francis. He is bumped there, but Mullen gets to the puck. Puts it in deep for Yager. Line to center. Francis coming late, takes it down. Mullen pulls to the side of the net. There's the pass, and Mullen can't complete it. Boy, Mullen races it back of the net. Mark Connorty moves over for Minnesota and clears it out towards center ice. Murphy is back. Pass to Francis. Now to Murphy. Coffey goes back to the net. So does Murphy. Coffey up the right side. Takes Murphy's pass. Carries the puck through center ice. Across the blue line. Nice move. And then Coffey got knocked down. And still got it in front of the net. Passes in after it now. Centers. And the point man had moved in too quickly. And are chased back. Murphy in the exchange with Barrasso. Saw that he had a man coming in. Bureau. Duchesne is the other forechecker here for Minnesota as Kevin Stevens brings the puck over the line. He's fed it to left wing. Recchi trying to drive in. Got checked. There's Stevens as well. Now Coffey with a shot that's blocked. Knocked away from Murphy, who has to hustle back. Murphy got pulled back, and Bureau picks up a loose puck. Mark Bureau off right wing. Shoots. Barrasso stops that. Puts it behind the net for Lemieux. That's along the boards. It's taken here by Recchi. Recchi over center, 3 North Stars back. Stevens couldn't handle the pass, and he gets bumped. And Minnesota North Stars, killing this off, had 30 seconds left in the penalty to Madonna. Harry Murphy with a feed to Recchi, up ahead to Stevens. Kevin Stevens bump, shoots one just wide of the net. Bill Bourque chasing it, trying to knock it away from Doug Smale. Smale, who hasn't seen a whole lot of ice time, forces Pittsburgh into the zone, but they come in offside and play is called. 10 seconds, all that's left in Madonna's high sticking penalty, Bill.
You know, there's a lot more open ice now that this is a power play that we're seeing, but people are still charging at one another, and a couple of times guys have come close to knee injuries in this one. Sean Chambers is cruising through the neutral zone just looking for people to try and get in front of. And you know that Mark Recchi will be one of their targets as well. Here's Mark Recchi coming through, and you can see that Chambers came charging at him. That looked like a knee from here. Recchi went up, wasn't hurt, luckily. If you can get both feet into the air before the knee hits, your skate blades won't catch in the ice, and you really end up sort of harmlessly being popped into the air. Short-handed, the North Stars are still trying to be aggressive. Good play by Gaetan Duchesne to free up Mark Bureau. And Bureau, can you watch what Paul Coffey does here? He was backing up. He turned. Whoop, wrong way. Bureau ended up with a pretty good scoring chance, but that's what we talked about in the early going. Paul Coffey's strength definitely not defensive plays, and Paul Coffey very often will turn the wrong way like that, and you will end up with a good scoring opportunity.
Ryan Bellows, who had gone off earlier in this period, Bill, is back out there now. Penalty against Minnesota is over. 4-1, Pittsburgh leading in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Win here tonight by the Penguins, and the series goes back to Minnesota, tied at a game each, but they give the puck away. Tinordi with a shot, that's blocked. Yager gets it out of the zone. The lone Penguin moving up. Yager turns back. Now to Erie coming in, centers behind Yager, a drive to the blue line. Jim Pack with a good shot. Yager handling the rebound here, goes back to the net, trying to get somebody open in front. It's checked on the play, right on him. And Chambers, and now Taglianetti is in to join the play. Bellows takes him to the board. And Tranche is there as the puck is in and out of Taglianetti's skates. Still moving. Yager waiting for it to come free. Taglianetti backs around the boards. Pittsburgh changing on the fly. Now they have frozen it long enough to get a face-off with 11.5 minutes to play in the third period, and we pause for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel America's exclusive Stanley Cup coverage.
The 1991 four-door Chevy S10 Blazer. Engineered with standard four-wheel anti-lock brakes. Open one up and see why nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America.
Find out where Elvis is tonight. He's the lead singer in Borderline, country western group.
There's some big action behind the play. As it moved up ice, Brian Bellows and Paul Stanton ended up locked up. There, Bob Erie took off and went to the other end, but there's Bellows in front. Taglianetti was there with him. Oh, man. Well, that's another play. I thought it was a stand play. Brian Bellows has had his nose in everybody's corner, including Taglianetti.
Now in the draw, it's Francis against Gagne, and Minnesota comes up with the puck, but give it away. Held in here by Ron Francis. Moved it around Johnson to the open side of the ice. And Brian Glynn controls it now. Glynn's outlet is knocked back into the zone by Gagne. O'Donnell takes it off the boards. Puts it back to the net for Glynn. They've got a man roaming around center ice. Gagne, but a long outlet won't work. Now they clear it up ahead, and McDonough is nowhere near it. Here's Ulf Samuelsson as a man in ahead of him. That puts the whole thing offside. John Casey and Mario Lemieux get our congratulations tonight. The leaders of the fans' choice for MVP. Mario for the Wales Conference, and John Casey. Voters' choice. There he is, leading the Campbell Conference voting, and our fans' choice for MVP. And I guess Mario's obviously the #1 choice in this city, isn't he? He has really played well. Raved about him, Bill, during the series against the Boston Bruins. I'd never seen him play both ends of the ice as well as he had. Talking to Bob Johnson, he said when he came back, the team was in first place. They had grown, they had learned how to win without him, and he was just an added dimension to what they had going.
You know, as you get closer and closer to the big trophy, it's amazing. Every player develops a conscience for defense, even if they've never had one before. So it takes getting this far in the playoffs to start playing that way, but it's worth it. And the Penguins need Lemieux to play on both ends. They absolutely do.
Now here's the star of game one, Neil Broughton, getting into the Pittsburgh zone, only to be pushed off the puck. Continues to battle for it, tied up with Roberts. A couple of former teammates, it comes loose. Wilkinson going back in the net is checked by Larry Murphy. Hero dumps it in a little deeper. Murphy gets his stick back, but kicks the puck toward the corner. Broughton with it now, off balance, and is met immediately by Gordy Roberts. The Penguins able to clear the zone. A long pass to Loney. 2-on-1 with Erie moving up. Back quickly is Bureau. Quick shot wide of the net by Loney. Covered and cleared up by Dahlquist. And at center ice, it's handled by Samuelsson. His pass ends up deep in the Minnesota zone. There'll be no icing call. Both teams making some player changes. We have exactly 10 minutes to play in the third period. Penguins leading 4-1. North Stars moving in. Barazan with a backhander. Barrasso down has made the save. The net is off, and play is called. The Pittsburgh Penguins with a 3-goal lead, trying to tie the Stanley Cup final on home ice.
Mazda trucks are built so tough, they're guaranteed bumper to bumper, long enough for a trip around the world. Twice.
Oha!
Mazda trucks, guaranteed tough.
Below joints at the chair.
It just feels right.
Xerox brings you up to date on the scoring leaders during the Stanley Cup playoffs. Mario Lemieux with a goal and an assist tonight, 33 points. Mark Recchi 2 behind, and Brian Bellows of the North Stars with 27. Kevin Stevens has 26, and Ray Bourque, the recently ousted Boston Bruins, with 25 points. Those are your leaders, brought to you by Xerox. Pittsburgh with a line of Lemieux, Bourque, and Recchi out together. Phil Bourque playing the left side with Lemieux in the middle at the moment. Bourque fell. That allows the North Stars, Brian Glynn, to move up. Glynn is across the line. The puck slipped off his stick. The Penguins failed to clear it outside the blue line. Glynn got another slap at it. That hit Jim Pack. Pack forward and goal Korea to Lemieux. Bourque is knocked down. There's going to be a penalty as Bourque draws one against the Minnesota North Stars here. A hooking penalty.
I'm not sure that it would matter with 9:21 to go. I guess there's enough time, but the North Stars have changed the way they play. I mean, their bread and butter is mixing it up coming through the neutral zone. They're primarily a dump and chase team. We'll take a look at this penalty. First of all, Duchesne dragging down Phil Bourque. But the North Stars now have resorted to what most teams go to, and that is a strict carry all the way type of attitude. Brian Glynn the last time tried to carry on the rush. The Penguins are ready for them. They're stacking it up in the neutral zone now, especially at their blue line. And the North Stars still have to say to themselves, look, our bread and butter is dumping and chasing and forcing turnovers at times. Not always, but you have to do that at times, and they've stopped doing it completely.
Despite all the chances they've had tonight, the Penguins have put up only one power play goal. Shark fin. They're out there again with those cards. The Shark Fins. Minnesota up with a loose puck. Broughton across the line, shoots one. Blocked by Tom Barrasso. Brought back by Ron Francis. Up to Lemieux. Now to Yager. Two men back. Lemieux cuts to the left side. Yager held the puck too long. Put the play offside. 9 minutes and 6 seconds left in this third period at Pittsburgh. Lemieux has to get back outside for a face-off. Some interesting news out of Calgary yesterday, where Cliff Fletcher resigned as general manager of the Calgary Flames. What's on his mind, where he's going to go? Retirement doesn't sound like the answer, Bill.
No, there'll be more news, I'm sure, coming out of Calgary. I don't know what the problem was there or what transpired that led to Cliff's resignation, but widely respected as one of the top general managers in hockey. He will certainly, I'm sure, be talked to by a number of teams. There's Kerry Fraser on the right. He's the standby referee for tonight's game. It was Ray Scampanello on the left. He's backing up the linesman.
Puck out of play here as the North Stars tried to clear it out. We both at one time worked for Cliff Fletcher, and I'm certain that at his young age he'll be back in this game. The other news, I guess, coming out of Pittsburgh today was denial of the sale of this hockey team by the owners. The gentleman from Edmonton who was reportedly in town with a bag full of money, they tell me, has dropped his offer and gone home. President John Ziegler at the game, no doubt, is right up to date on any offers that have been made for this Pittsburgh hockey team. Denials coming from the Bartolo family. Bob Johnson told us this morning that he'd be talking to the players about that before the game. He didn't think that was on their mind. The way they have controlled the play here, obvious that they were focused in on game 2. Coffey is out with this man advantage. Ian Murphy on the points. The pass from Coffey went to Murphy. Now to Yager. Yager to Lemieux, just out of his reach, and the Penguins are forced back. Paul Coffey gets to it again. Trying to play it through. His man could not, and that's Berezan slapping it wide of the net. Minnesota changing the penalty killing unit. Up with the puck is Murphy. The pass to Recchi. Shot it around the boards. Casey can't get to this one. Kevin Stevenson after it. Lets it go back to Coffey. Centered one. That's broken up in front and brought back. Sean Chambers can't play it through Coffey, and Lemieux works it out towards center ice. Minnesota in control of it here. Johnson moving it to the left side. 35 seconds remaining in the power play for the Penguins, but it was almost broken up by Broughton. Mullen has given it to Paul Coffey. Pass into the skates of Stevens, moves it up the right side. That's Mullen chasing it into the zone. Joey Mullen drops it toward the corner for Recchi. Round out to Mullen, hits him on the skates. Kevin Stevens can't get it back to Mullen, and the North Stars have cleared the territory. Again, Minnesota changing their penalty killers. 6 seconds, all that's left in this man advantage for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Samuelson guides one to Trottier. He overled Mullen, and that will force the defenseman Brian Glynn to chase it. He's given it to Duchesne, who has just stepped back on the ice from that penalty. Bobby Smith brings the Minnesota North Stars over the zone. Was poke checked away, then Dolan got a shot that's turned aside. Duchesne can't get it freed up in time to shoot it. There'll be another penalty, but this will be against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Just a couple of ticks more than 7 minutes remaining in period 3. The Penguins lead by 3 goals.
It's the Coors Light Rock and Roll Summer. Yes, the beer that won't fill you up. We'll be dancing its can off all summer long. Just visit the display and look for the specially marked cans, and you could instantly win Carver's Ultimate Stereo System, Boss stereo phones, 10 and portable CD players, and cassettes from Capitol Records. We know it's only Coors Light Rock and Roll Summer, but we like it.
It's a holding penalty on the Penguins' number 5, Walt Samuelson.
Bobby Smith did a pretty good job of stick handling with one hand, even when Samuelson was holding him. Duchesne tried to get it into Smith. Look at Samuelson holding him. And Bobby Smith was able to get a piece of the puck, but not all of it. So one more chance at the power with 7:02 to go. They got to get one right here.
On the man advantage situation, Bellows is back out. He's on the right side. Gagne in the middle with Prop on the left for the North Stars. Randy Gillen to take the draw for Pittsburgh, and he wins it. And slams it around the boards. Broughton can't hold it at the left point. But Orty races back. Moving up is Gillen. Orty works it out through center ice. It's loose in the Pittsburgh zone, but Bellows, when he handles it, puts the whole thing offside.
How come that's offside? Just because there was a 7-line pass? Bellows was all the way in the offensive zone when that was passed up the ice. The North Stars might want to change their pregame routine, but I doubt it. They have a situation that involves one of their trainers, Mark Baribeau, and to prepare for their games, they play a certain set of songs. The first one is Billy Idol's version of L.A. Woman. The second two are by AC/DC, the rock group. And the fourth song is one that Gaetan Duchesne brought in before last season. It's by Alice Cooper, and it's called Poison. And they say it's not a very good song, but they won 26 home games with it last year. They started playing it after they were down 2-1 in the Chicago series, and they play all of those 4 songs leading up to the meeting when Bob Gainey walks into the room. And you know what? That's the last time they've trailed in a series in this year's playoffs.
And I wonder if somebody hadn't left the Frank Sinatra tape in the dressing room instead after last night's concert. Long shot from the point here is wide of the net. In after this, Gagne works in on Barrasso and can't tuck it in. Here's Broughton beating the blue line, but away and well away from Mark Tenorti. Fans reacting to Tom Barrasso's goaltending. Minnesota with 31 shots on goal. Barrasso is stopped, 30. 4-1, Pittsburgh leading as they force the Minnesota power play back into regroup. Casey gives it to Broughton. 60 seconds left in this man advantage. Ryan Bellows through center, slaps it in around the boards, and Barrasso bumps it out of the air. Gets it on the stick, plays it up the right side and out of the zone with help from Randy Gillen. Wilkinson dropping back as Ved Glynn. Right side, in and out of the skates of Gagne. He's able to put it back in the net. Barrasso tries the right side of the ice again. Got it to the line where Mullen freed it up, but Glynn was back quickly. Ryan Glynn, the former Calgary Flame, lays the puck into the zone. Can't get to it again, and Joey Mullen, also a former Flame, has cleared it out. Casey well out of the net. And swipe at it, moved it through center ice, and Taglianetti forces Minnesota to chase it with 20 seconds left. That's in the power play. Bobby Smith's pass off the stick of Dahlen, controlled here, and a drive pad save by Barrasso. Big stop by Jimmy Johnson, and the puck is cleared to the line. Held in. Wilkinson got it on target, and Trottier is able to clear the zone. Fort had trouble getting his stick away from Wilkinson. And now Samuelson feeds Trottier for a shot. Blocked by Casey way up above the goal mouth. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the third period. Minnesota trailing by 3. And through center ice, tipping the puck into the Pittsburgh zone, and then going for a player change as Taglianetti bangs one off the boards. Knocked down by McDonald. Francis takes the man. Taglianetti has cleared the puck. Backcourt is Jimmy Johnson. Minnesota needs 3 goals to tie this game and force overtime. Pittsburgh in game 2 of every series has gone to overtime. Twice they've won, once they've lost. That was against Boston, and the net is pushed off the moorings. Pepper's beginning to flare a little bit again. Linesman, Kevin Collins, and Gord Brosiker get things settled down. And the clock shows just a little more than 4 minutes between the end of this game and a tie in the Stanley Cup Final.
When you buy Valvoline motor oil, you get quality, high performance, protection, and now, for a limited time only, great taste. It's Valvoline's 125th birthday, and right now when you buy 12 quarts of Valvoline and buy 12 cans of any Coca-Cola product, we'll pay for the Coca-Cola product. People who know use Valvoline. With other motor oils, you just won't get the great taste of Coca-Cola Classic.
I'm with former Penguin of 8 seasons, Dave Hannon. Who do you feel best for with the Penguins doing so well?
Well, there's a lot of guys, J.E., that I play with, guys like Bob Erie, Mary Lemieux, Tom Barrasso. A lot of guys been here a lot of years, so it's nice to see the city really enjoying this. I'm sure these guys are too.
Now you're a Leaf now, playing for Toronto. What do you think about the rumors involving Cliff Fletcher maybe moving there as general manager? Would you like it?
Well, he's done very well in Calgary, so I think anybody like that can really help us, and it could really solidify the franchise up there.
General manager or president, good luck to you. Enjoy your off-season.
Thanks very much, City.
As Dave Hannon said, this city is really excited, and it appears now that they'll have a hockey game here again next week. It'll be Thursday night for Game 5. Murphy on a tap at the puck. Trottier is able to move it out of the zone, and that's Bob Harry moving up. Brian Glynn moving back. Harry has it poked away by Glynn. Mark Bureau trying to go cross ice, shot it off Wilkinson and went right to Brian Trottier. Trottier's long shot is well wide of John Casey's goal mouth, and we get a confrontation right in front of the Minnesota players' bench. Trottier, Kevin Stevens involved, and now all the Penguins and North Stars, except the two goaltenders, start to throw some fists.
I think Neil Wilkinson took a shot at Brian Trottier, and that's why big Kevin Stevens came roaring into the pack.
Well, Trottier just took one in the mouth again from Wilkinson. Andy Van Hellemond pushing Trottier away from the bench. Kevin Stevens has taken a seat in the penalty box. Trottier is going to be waved to the Pittsburgh dressing room. He's done for the night. This with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third period.
Well, Bob Johnson said before this hockey game his better players had to play better. There's one right there. Kevin Stevens has been very strong. Physically, been very creative on the ice. Been involved in the scoring. Lemieux and Recchi right alongside with him.
And as you see, Sunday night, Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Championship. It'll be played at the Met Center in Bloomington, Minnesota, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Pacific Time, exclusively on Sports Channel America. The Penguins and the North Stars, it appears, will be tied at a game each. Bob Johnson seeing his team run into some penalties here. Stevens and Bureau get 2 minutes each for roughing. So that is a wash. And Brian Trottier gets a 10-minute misconduct penalty. It's back to the drawing board for Bob Gainey and his North Stars. They'll leave tonight following the game. Charter home. The Pittsburgh club will fly to Minnesota tomorrow afternoon. Francis with Loney and Mullen on the wings. Samuelson and Stanton on the points. Gagne picks the puck off the boards here, but can't get around big old Samuelson. Samuelson without a stick avoided most of that collision with McDonald. And Stanton works the puck to Loney, now to Mullen. Two North Stars back. Mullen can't get across the line and control of it, and that put the play offside when he did regain control.
Well, you have to know if the North Stars get a chance, they're going to take a run at Ulf Samuelson. Boy, they took a couple of real good runs at him, including Mike Modano.
Mullen set up the goal by Stevens at the 16:32 mark of the second period. He has been a target tonight. So has Ulf Samuelson.
Here's Samuelson taking out Dave Gagne, but watch what happens as soon as he goes for the puck. Here comes Modano, boy, and Samuelson saw him coming and bailed out. Tried to duck under the hit and did a pretty good job of it.
Samuelson was born and raised in a steel city in Sweden. And now here he is living in a steel city, USA. Plays like a man of steel. Dahlquist landing the puck in. Barrasso with the save. Plays it to the right side. Knocked out of the air by Jágr. Jaromir Jágr trying to come up the right wing boards. Continues to battle for the puck. Has it again. Nice turn. Hasn't given away, but referee Andy Van Hellemond is blowing the whistle. And there'll be another penalty. Only 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the third period. Stanton wouldn't let Gagne get back on his skates. Paul Stanton is being ushered toward the penalty box. Appears that Gagne is going to go off as well.
I thought they were going to call a couple of different North Stars who were hacking away at Jágr trying to get up the ice, but in the meantime there was a pileup along the boards. But there's Jágr with the puck, and he was just hacked by Brian Propp. Didn't matter. Andy wasn't watching that at all. I was watching what was going on down on the ice. Paul Stanton and Dave Gagne. They're still hacking at Jágr. Brian Propp with a two-hand baseball chop on him was hitting him up in the shoulders.
Gagne Stanton to each roughing at 17:03.
And the earlier penalty. Stevens sitting in that penalty box. Gagne going into the Minnesota side. 2 minutes, 57 seconds remaining in the third period at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. And against the fears of this crowd, it's been very interesting the last 24 hours, actually the last 48 hours since Minnesota won Game 1. So many of the people on the streets, so much of the media convinced that if the Penguins didn't win tonight, the series would end 4 straight. And great respect, the Penguins and the city and the sports fans, for the fact that the North Stars are next thing to invincible at home. Minnesota had won 11 of their last 14 playoff games, coming in to this game 2 of the Stanley Cup final. Mullen lost the puck. Bobby Smith out in front. Can't tuck that under Barrasso, and there'll be another penalty call on the play. Gordy Roberts drawing the attention of referee Andy Van Hellemond. Just put the stick into Madonna, I believe. Oh, that was uncalled for. No, it's Brian Glynn. He just jabbed him with the stick, a deliberate spear, and that was spotted by linesman Kevin Collins. And Roberts is going to leave the ice. Glynn is back up and skating toward the Minnesota bench.
Well, if you're going to inflict damage, now is the time, but you have to be careful not to end up with a match penalty for something like this. Here's the original. Ulf Dahlin went into his patent and move along the boards, but Gordy Roberts cut him off and ended up just taking him down. It was an outright tackle down into the corner, so that's what was called. And everything looked like it was under control at that point, and it was. They just got up, and Roberts decided to take the stick to Brian Glynn. See what he gets here.
For holding, 5 minutes for spearing, and a game misconduct at 17:34. Roberts, 2 for holding, 5 for spearing.
Watch number 6, Brian Glynn.
At 17:34.
All you saw was the stick sneaking through there. Gosh, he actually had his left-hand backhand on his stick.
This sets up a situation of 7 minutes in penalties against Roberts. Barring any further penalties, Minnesota will have that advantage for the balance of this game. They trailed by a score of 4-1. You know the story on their power play. The goal by McDonald tonight, their only goal, came with a man advantage, establishing a new Stanley Cup playoff record of 33 power play goals. If they can get it cranked up here, it might make this very interesting down the home stretch. Has taken the timeout.
The one thing that will work against them, these North Stars, is that they're on a power play, so once they pull John Casey, the Penguins are going to be able to fire it down at will and not really have to fear any face-offs back in their zone, and that's a huge advantage. Sometimes I think it's almost better to be down a man when you're in that situation than just have the goaltender pulled, really. Being able to dump it down the ice is such a huge bonus.
Checking around the building, Bill, I can't see Elvis. We told you the pet phrase, Elvis has just left the building. Mike Lang, the broadcaster for the Penguins, has used that line for some time. Oh, I'll tell you what, he may be leaving. Hey, he's making an exodus. We found him.
He's like James Brown. You know when he used to get down on the stage, they'd cover him with the cape and he'd come back?
Tommy Barrasso going back into the net. There's Mike Lang, who we mentioned a moment ago. Up with the line, and Elvis has left the building when his team is comfortably in the lead in the third period.
You should point out that Elvis is here because Mike Lang started that line. I mean, Mike Lang didn't start that line because Elvis started coming to the games. The thing worked in reverse.
But he's got a couple of other lines, like Albert Cow kick, and I haven't seen any cows here. Not so many others. Remember a game in Chicago when Mario Lemieux went in on a breakaway, and Mike came up with a phrase, he'd beat him like a rented mule. Casey has gone to the Minnesota bench for the extra attacker. Bobby Smith has the puck. Centers put out in front. There's Propp. Can't get a shot away. Good job by Bob Airy, and Taglianetti has shot it down the ice. Now wide of the net, but as Bill pointed out, they can ice the puck here at will. Playing a man short. Neil Broughton. As Bellows moving up the left side. Madonna on the right. Broughton brings the puck over the line. Can't get it to Smith. Now he got another crack at it. That goes over the glass and into the seats. 1 minute, 32 seconds left in the third period. And the change here, Mullen and Gillen are coming out for Pittsburgh. Penalties to Stevens and Bureau have expired, and we had a look at Bob Clark. He knows what winning a Stanley Cup is all about. He's there for 2 with the Philadelphia Flyers, played alongside a guy by the name of Bill Clement.
I think that's the other way around. I played alongside him, but we were there together.
I'm just following the script you gave me, Duke.
You know what Bob Clark said before the game? He said, you know, you get away from the finals as a player, as a coach, or general manager, and you don't realize how much fun it is. And he's so happy that his players and his entire organization are able to feel the excitement of being in a Stanley Cup Finals. I'm happy for both of these teams. It's been a long time coming for some of these athletes and some of the people involved in management of these teams.
It really has, and they're so deserving. Gillen moves in on this face-off, trying to beat Bobby Smith. Smith got it to the blue line. There's Glynn with a shot. Pad save by Barrasso. Taglianetti slapped it around the boards. Broughton held it in. McDonald got checked by Gillen. Cleared out and down the ice by Al Samuelson. First man back is Glynn. Clock drops back. Broughton and Smith come in as well, and now they set up. Ryan Glynn rushing with the puck, hits center ice and dumps it in. Barrasso cuts it off, lets it go to Taglianetti. Up the board, held in by Bellows. Bellows can't get it to Brock. Milano plays one to Bobby Smith. Samuelson had been knocked down in front of him, out to the goal mouth. Barrasso took a poke at one of the North Stars who was pretty close to him. Smith back to Broughton to Smith. Smith fires one through a screen. The rebound is there. Prop can't bang that in. Ryan Prop steps out of the corner. 40 seconds left. Here's Bob Smith to the blue line. Broughton up the slot for the drive. Turned aside by Barrasso. And Mullen puts it down into the Minnesota zone.
There are going to be some bruised North Stars and some bruised Penguins. It's a war in front of Barrasso.
Broughton has the stick knocked out of his hands. Move over the line. McDonald's shot off the post. Off the catching glove, but it mattered not. The play was offside at the Pittsburgh line, and I don't think anybody heard the whistle. They're standing at the Civic Arena, and so they should be. Let's just enjoy the atmosphere, what's known as the Igloo. The youngsters are headed for home. Bob Johnson at the bench. Oh, man.
Well, that's not a yawn, and that's not a stretch. That's intensity at its best. Yeah, there's some vintage Bob Johnson. Rubbing the hair with the grimace going. He's an easygoing guy. That does not mean he is not an intense competitor.
Met his grandson this morning, and he can't wait, just can't wait to get to Minnesota because his son, Mark, is going to be at the Met Center to see the game on Sunday night.
His mom lives there as well. He was raised in the south side of Minneapolis, and his mother still lives there. At the age of 83, Myrna will be in Minneapolis to greet her son when he arrives there as well.
And the North Stars have got Andy Van Hellemond upset. He is called a delay of the game penalty on the Minnesota North Stars, and is hearing it from Brian Bellows. Bob Gainey stoically praising the situation. For the Minnesota power play. 19 seconds, all that's left. You could tuck this one away. Pittsburgh has come back to tie the Stanley Cup final in game 8. Still 19 seconds remaining. Face-off, it's going to be Dave Gagne for Minnesota. Ron Francis wins the draw for Pittsburgh. Casey back out on the ice, lets that go wide of the net. Now he decides to play it. And the fans are counting down the final 9 seconds. of this game, knowing that there'll be another one here next Thursday night. It's only fitting that there be another scuffle before the teams leave the ice, Bill.
But the North Stars accomplished what they wanted to here in the first two games. Win one. So they won game one. That put the onus on the Penguins. The Penguins had to win here in game two, which they did. Bottom line is this. The onus is on the Penguins in Minnesota. They have to win one of the two games up there at the Met Center.
Yeah, they really do. Bob Johnson knows that. Probably found a lucky penny on the ice there. Has to be a much happier man as he heads for the Pittsburgh dressing room. Tom Barrasso, one of the stories of tonight's game, hearing it from the crowd as the Penguins have won game two. Final score, Pittsburgh 4, Minnesota 1. We pause now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel America's exclusive Stanley Cup coverage.
It entered our homes 50 years ago. It was television. Then came cable. And the good idea got even better. A few channels became dozens.
Well, here I am again with a chance for
Satellite technology wired us to the world with 24-hour movies, news, sports, and music.
Hello, cable system.
I'd like to order the fight, please. Innovations that will come together in 1992 to complement NBC's network coverage. The Olympics triple cast, 3 separate cable channels. In addition to the NBC network broadcast, commercial-free, all the best events, 15 days, 24 hours a day. The Olympics triple cast, another cable triumph.
The new RCA 8mm camcorder weighs less than 2 pounds. It's so small and light, you'll take it everywhere. That way, you won't miss a thing. It also has a super-fast lens for great color and clarity in almost any light.
Come on, give me the slippers.
The new RCA 8mm camcorder. Another way we're changing entertainment again.
See the exciting new RCA home entertainment products at all Tops Appliance superstores in New Jersey and all P.C. Richard locations.
But I'd like to thank God, really, for including me in his master plan for being in the Hall of Fame.
Members of the Hall of Fame, it is certainly a pleasure for me to be here this afternoon and quite an honor.
Celebrate the heroes of America's favorite pastime with Halls of Fame every month, exclusively on Sports Channel.
The series is even, and for the first time in all the playoffs, Minnesota has been held to only 1 goal on a splendid effort by Tom Barrasso. But you talk about splendid efforts. This one occurred in the latter stages of the second period. Mario Lemieux moving past everyone and backhanding it home, sprawling to the ice, and was he ever happy? This was an emotional night for Mario Lemieux and for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He is our skin bracer player of the game. Mario Lemieux has joined us here in post-game celebration. I'm sure is going to be a big one in your locker room, but I want to go into the locker room before tonight's game. Was there some doubt on the minds of your teammates before this one?
We were a little nervous tonight. We didn't play very well in the first game. We were really nervous, especially at home, and didn't play as well as we did against Boston. We didn't skate as well, and that's one of the reasons we lost the game. Our specialty